thank you, Father, for your word. Your word tells us that you'll come like a thief in the night, a thief during the watch, and the world is not watching, Father. I can't make them, and I don't want to make them. And I thank you for showing me in your word that that's not the way it's supposed to go down. It's not supposed to go down like that. You did say that they will be taken, overcome, overtaken, because they won't have their light on. Their light, their lamp, their eye, it's dark, Father. It's filled with darkness. The world, their hearts are waxed cold from your word, and they're not going to see it coming. So I think even if you bring it in intensity, they're just going to get lulled, rocked by tides, the pulling in and a pushing out, in and out, a tide, right? A shifting of the tides. Sorrows is what the word of God says, birthing pains, and it'll still to get rocked to sleep so they won't see it coming. But I do thank the Father for the celestial knowledge that I've been given, and it, it's pretty hard to determine what's really going on when they tell you you're spinning around on a ball. So, and the whole world believes it, most of the world. So, definitely makes it a different place to live than most. So, again, I thank the Father for the understanding of, not to be so caught up in this world that I have not been able to catch the ellipsis, the pinching, the magnetic pinch that we're about to experience that we did at the time that you were here. So it's okay, Father, if the world doesn't care. That's not what I'm here to do, correct? You didn't put me here to care what the world thought. You put me here to, woe if you if I don't spread that, that aletheia, the truth, the coming of the King, should be quite obvious that he's nigh at the door, and he said to be watching, to be burning bright, and to be girded. You got to be doing him, not the world. So unfortunately, because of religious today, it's gone away. It's not in them, but that's okay. You chose, prognosko, foreknowledge, yet foreknowledge of. So it's not a thing we can change. Nope. Father writes all things, so not trying to get in the way of the stars, can't run from them, and can't get away from what's written in that book, the seventh seal, the seventh trumpet's coming. So it's not here yet. If you read the word, it should tell you that it's not the end, but it's the beginning, is what it says. So you might want to hold on and put your seatbelt on, fasten. It's going to get more intense, like tabernacles, right? Intense, right? Are you a wandering spiritual Jew out in the desert, tabernacling, giving glory to the Shem, to the great I am, to the Agape, the one who sent his son? The only way to the Father is through that testament. I wish people would change that up. Seriously. Change it up. Don't say son. Say, well, you can, but say testament, through the New Testament, because he hadn't sent his son. But he did, for a reason. There was a price that was paid. It was already bought and purchased and paid. He had to come pay in the flesh. It's a good thing that we're on under that. He paid for that flesh so we don't have to suffer that, correct? Yes, all glory to the Most High. But either way, thought I'd come in here and beat the drum again. This earth didn't get the way it looked because it was all 70 and sunny all the time. Weather effects the way this earth looks. So yeah, there were times when this earth was not so 70 and sunny. It goes through cataclysmic cycles, events, extinction cycles. Many of these things are cyclical and they're not man doing anything. Thanks for coming in again, Lady in Red. Thought I'd come in and beat the drum. What if I'm right? What if my evidence is correct? What if David evidenced the two witnesses that are declaring this theolobo, this magnetic pinch, the pinching down, the pushing down on both sides, where we're going to get pinched in the middle of that magnetic connection, arc discharge. It's going to get good. I think that's why I got all these people believing in space, because when these stars light up there and start lighting up, because that magnetic yeah, people are going to lose their minds. So you should start to see massive effects weather-wise before this day ever happens. So don't worry, it's not like you won't see it coming. Okay, this might not be that exact. This is the day that we get pinched in between that, and we will come out of it. It's not up. That's it. No, it's in, and then we move out of it. So it's not a permanent thing, you know. What do you got for me on the October 70 some days? We're almost into the 60s, guys. Yeah, it has. Seriously, if you don't feel it, you know, we just experienced a G7 geomagnetic storm, and we did it again. More auroras, guys. I haven't looked at the latitude. I apologize. Life has always just been kicking my, you know what, but I have seen again that there was massive auroras all over the earth, pictures of them. I didn't quite check the locations and latitude, because that's important too. There's going to be, if there's energy coming from our sun, coronal mass ejections, solar filament releases, you know, the solar wind, or solar flares. That's what most people know about. There's going to be an increase in intensity of that ion and ionized and deionized gas plasma. That's you put a plasma cutter in, that's electric, right? So we live in an electric universe, and it's an electric sun, and it arc discharges. Like I said, that's what shapes most of the features on our earth are done from this event when we get this connection to our sun. So we are electrically connected to our sun. We have a sweet spot, if you will. So if you've been paying attention, last year we shattered probably the most important event I've ever seen in my lifetime, as far as celestial, other than the Revelation 12 sign, which the mechanics of that is just beyond comprehension. He controls the stars. Do you have a collaborated? What are you talking about? Collaborated? Do you have collaborated evidence? I've been putting this evidence out for 20 years or something, whatever. I've been telling people about what I've been seeing. So what do you mean collaborative? Go see David Debides. I'm not collaborating with anybody. I'm standalone. David, the only other witness he always declares to, is the one talking about how he left here, America, and went over to 5 countries to show you this gas giant alignment that I've been talking about. There you go. It's just a 7980. There's my go find your own evidence. This is easy to find. Seriously, I'm going to show links. I don't drop links to all this. You can go on my videos and then go find everything. This, as I said in my videos all the time, I'm not hiding anything. Yeah, some of my images might be a little hard to find, because I've been doing this for decades, since the internet came out. So my phone has been crushed. It just recently got crushed again. Always many years of collaborating my own evidence. Okay, yeah, there you go. You don't see anything because you don't know where to look. It's all there. He didn't make it easy, brothers and sisters, but there's nothing that I haven't shown that you can't find access to all these same images, and most of them are done through the internet and computer programs, such as the lining up of Where 1024, these gas giant, these are all programs that you can easily get access to. So it's there for you to find if you know where to look. Seek and you shall find, ask and you shall receive, knock, and he says, I will sup with you. So hopefully he'll reveal, you'll have a revelation or apocalypse. But go see David. He has, again, too, he went to standalone to 5 countries and showed you this gas giant alignment painted thousands of years ago, and paintings, and it's not just imageries on the internet. This goes thousands of years back. So this isn't some There's no guess here, brothers and sisters. Yeah, well, that's your problem. You're speaking with professors. Somebody who's in a box, okay? So that event already happened this year. Now that is blasphemy. I rebuke whoever the fuck you just talked to, squashing my evidence, saying that if that we went in that alignment, we'd already been rocked. So take whoever said that, and they're an absolute demonion, a demon and a devil. We already went into this alignment this year. Would you look at the blasphemy of what was just said in this room, brothers and sisters? And did you believe them? Did you believe what they said to you? These professors that you spoke, which university professor did you, and which university did you go to? I'm starting to think you're a shield. I've had issues with you in the past, and that's fine. Iron sharpens iron, but university, you went and spoke with some university about what? What do they know about 79 AD? What do you know about 79 AD? What the hell would you ask them? Did you ask them about 70? Have you personally looked into 79 AD? Before you went and spoke with some professors, did you go research your history and see what was happening on this earth in 79 AD? That we were in the same alignment that we're going to come into again, not already happened? That is insanity. Man, I'd love to smack that. I wish I could be Old Testament. I'd smack the living bull snot off of somebody who had said that. Couldn't be any more blasphemous. So you got one more chance to come clean here. And speak your piece about which university and which professors and which university would you go to talk to them about a celestial. They believe that we're spinning around on a ball. Do you? If you believe that you're spinning around on a ball, would you please leave? Don't ever come back here again. I'll recognize, because I don't know if you're Dennis or Denise. I can't do, but the purple makes me think you're Denise. So I don't, things don't normally pass me. Once something stuck in my brain, it doesn't go away. So it already happened. Are you hearing this insanity that was just displayed in the comment section? Dennis, or whatever, said they went to a university, spoke with professors, and this alignment that hasn't happened yet. I'm telling you that is going to happen. It's starting. You can look at this with your own eyes. You're not going to find any images. Listen to the insanity of what you just said. So I think you need to leave. Don't ever come back here again, please. I mean, it's serious. If you put more trust in that professor than to go look out with your own fucking eyes to see that hasn't happened, and that would have already been, are you out of your mind to sit there and put that in this? And I'm sorry I cussed twice, but I'm serious. Are you out of your mind? With your own eyes, this would have been said, known, talked about. Are you freaking serious? Those are the 4 large gas giants. You can't hide the 4 large gas giants up there in the sky. Now, I know as people live in the city, they never look at the stars. Neither did probably those professors. They never actually looked up and witnessed any of it. You talk to a bunch of idiots. Professors. Professor, a man in a box. I rebuke whoever said that to you. I cannot wait till the Father passes judgment. Because, see, I could be wrong. This might not happen, Brother Source, as far as the title shift. But this already happened. Insane. That is over the top. Now, I thought I was going to, rattled my cage that, this person would, you guys, did you hear this? It already happened. This thing I'm telling you, it's known. It's something that's, you can see that we're starting to have these effects, the way these celestial bodies move straight through the stars. You would have already been seen. This has never been seen. Denise goes and talks to the professors in Hawaii. Which island, might I ask you, were you on? And which university? Go now. Come on. We're going to see if you're a shield or not, because I don't think I believe you now. Which island, which town, which university? Okay, which island? That's better. That's better. At least they didn't call it like. There we go. I knew it. I fucking knew it. You damn shill. There we go. Look at that. I knew it, man. I'm telling you, trust your instincts, Tracy. Brothers and sisters, this person is a shill. That is my ex-girlfriend. I knew it. I knew it. I knew. Man, guys, please, for any of you guys, you got to listen to your instinct. Now, I told you earlier because I've been watching this. But you know what? I just, I got only so much time, to deal with people here. I got to declare the message myself. But you just were a witness. Like, nah, I think you're a shill. I think I got to watch you. Bam. Stephanie Polania knows. Shill. Why would that person mention my ex-girlfriend all out of a sudden? Wow. Thank you, Father. They're here. You got to be flack. You're not over the target unless you're taking flack. I think I have the government's attention, brothers and sisters. I think I have the world's attention. Thank you, Father. It's you doing it, not me. Thank you for giving me the ability to declare this celestial alignment, because you spin the stars. You control the heavens, right? The firmament. There's no heavens is not, that's the ruling class. You control them too. Principalities, powers, spiritual wickedness, the rulers of the darknesses of this world. Ephesians 6:11. Do they rule you? Who's ruling you? You can't serve two masters, brothers and sisters. I love your content, but I'm not sure about you having the world's attention. Yeah, it is. This is called the worldwide net. And it's gone out across the world, and God will declare it to whoever he wants, all around the world. Hank, yeah, don't be unsure. God always declares two witnesses. It's okay, no worries. You don't have faith like Daniel, obviously, and that's okay. Don't put your faith in men. So, please. That's right. This world is given unto the adversary and a third of his messengers, angelos. Not just one devil leotarded, spandex wearing red pokey tail horn Jesus, devil Jesus. Right? Or the other devil over here with the white robe and the Ouroboros, the halo. The serpent hood or the crown, right? The snake eating its own tail. You got a devil on one shoulder and a devil on another, but two people are too ignorant to even understand their imagery. So most people they don't know who the devil is, because they don't know what a devil is. Devil is the word demonion. That's not an original word in original. The word of God never said devil. They've replaced it, brothers and sisters. You've been hoodwinked. You've been hoodwinked. Yeah, they pulled the old Horcus Corpus on you. He said, let no man steal your crown. The crown is an inheritance. Know what you're talking about, devil, or I'll rebuke you and cast you out of here. For the crown is the inheritance to the kingdom. I rebuke your nonsense. Blasphemy. You're being blasphemous. He said, let no man steal your crown. So is there just one? People love to make up their own shem. And he warned about that, brothers and sisters. Yeah, he warned about it. I know they're the serious, they're serious in here. They're not playing around. You got to witness that. Thank you for being here, lady. I knew it. You've seen, because you're my moderator. You've seen that Dennis R in here before. I know you have. They come in right at that right time too. I've always been watching that one, but something's been clicking me about that. And that's good, because it's instinct. It's like, is my evidence correct? Or, so they're going to try to suppress this evidence, and that's God's will be done. Because he said, I already told me I will come like a thief, Tracy. Most people aren't watching. So just do what it is that you're doing. Just stay in the word. Be in the world, but be not of it, Tracy. Just keep blowing the horn, sending the message. I control the stars. Keep telling people that there's no balls in the sky that are people, and God's balls and God's in the sky, and God's not in the sky. And just keep going. I will put a cover over you. You don't want anything, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Don't fear no evil. For the Lord, he's with me, brothers and sisters. I know that, so I'm not concerned about these distributors of fortunes are lies, but it does tell me, again, you have to be over the target. I don't think you have the world's attention, and bam! So, yeah, there you go. It's a worldwide net, remember? An interweb. So he will choose who he eyes, clear, see, vision, scales removed, hearing, and ear, not deaf. So, seriously, it's not for me to choose who he reveals revelation, who has this revelation or this apocalypse of this, these celestial markers. So, cool. Yeah, I'm not. That's okay. No worries. I rebuke all veterans and rebuke myself. We're the true opposition, antichrist, adversary, Satans of the world. All of us military veterans who destroy people outside our own borders and lives and democracy, bombs, and everything in opposition to the New Testament. So my PTSD, I'm starting to shake. I'm sorry, guys. It's bad right now. I can't stand warning about those who say they come in peace. I mean, Christ didn't come in peace. Okay? Remember, he said, do not think that I came to bring peace on this earth. I came to bring a sword of division that will divide. But I know I can feel a little bit of I'm an eternal energy being. You're doing fine, devil. Don't worry about it. I ain't tripping. Seriously, I'll know you by your fruit. I ain't seen anything nothing here I ain't seen so far. So you're fine. Stay here. Don't run away, please. If you're a vet, you'll have thicker skin than most, so I'm not concerned about that. But I rebuke the militaries, all of them. It's in opposition to the New Testament, and we failed it. And you and I both know then we have a personal, experience with what that's like to serve the beast. And maybe I did it at 17, delayed entry program, United States Army, took my ASVAB, all my testing before I even became an adult so that I can score out and leave. As soon as I was 18, gone, bam, MEPS, I'm saying, off to basic and advanced, Fort McClellan, 95 Bravo, Desert Storm, I served during, first part of the 90s. And we're an apostasy to the Word of God and in the New Testament. I don't know another veteran. If you could pass this on to other veterans, maybe this will help them not stick a gun to their head like 22 of us every day that said, I don't want to hold on to these. We wanted to be a hero and came back. In fact, the things that we did were absolutely there you go. So you understand what I'm saying then, how that works. You join thinking it's one thing, and then you go and you do, and you're like, hey, that's not what they say. Like, hey, guard this poppy farm over here. Hey, wait a minute. Thought we were going over to be a hero. No. And then your next tour, take that guy. This is the same guy I was just guarding. Yeah, just do your job. Shut up. You'll talk about it in the rear. The longest war we were ever involved in, brothers and sisters, irregardless of how we pulled out of Afghanistan, irregardless, because I think that was a big dog and pony show. At least Biden pulled the fuck out of there. That was the longest war we've ever been involved in. Seriously. So So I don't care how we left there. We're out. Good. I know we left a bunch of stuff there. Bush did that, and yeah, it's been done before. So what I'm saying? Exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm saying then? Serving this beast, stormtroopers. Can I use that? A bunch of stormtroopers, because I don't believe in none of that nonsense either. That's what we act like, a bunch of freaking serving the, the big cog, the eye in the sky. What is that? Whatever they call that freaking planet, whatever, the Death Star, or whatever that stupid ball is that people thinking we're spinning around on a ball, guys. It's sad. The State of the Union is sad. So it's not freedom. Devil, might I remind you, there's a reason we kill women and children in another country, and it's not for freedom, it's for choice. Remember, choice, so they have that choice. It's nothing, they're really, truly, if you want to learn, stay with this channel, I'll teach you there's no such thing as freedom. Blasphemy. Only God is sovereign, the great I am who writes all, and he did these things. He wrote all these things for you and I to do the things, all of us. So it's not like, he said, be not anxious, but whatever. That's what PTSD does to a man. Seeing these things, you think you're going to do one thing and you see something else, it pulls you. It's that tug of war in the mind and the heart that, women and children don't wear battle dress uniforms. You know what I'm talking about. Never wore a military fatigue, lose their lives in all these operations so people could have choice over here. And I tried to tell people, like you'd understand Afghanistan, Sharia law, the women, the burqas covering their faces, you come home and you see men with their faces covered. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? I thought the Sharia, this applied to the women. What are these dudes covering their, I thought I gave them choice. What the hell is going on here? Did I just kill women and do we all do these things for nothing? I thought we did these so these people would have a choice over here. We did it over there in 1,000 and plus military bases in 180 countries, so these people could supposedly have choice, and they didn't. Stand on the X. I tell people, what the hell? People like you, myself, how many times? Right? Seal completely knows. I try to tell these people, you got to imagine, like, what the hell is this? You have never been in a nuclear, biological, chemical environment. Do not understand the proper decontamination procedures. A virus? What the, I was just going crazy. Yeah, they're all over the world. Exactly. I do. Hallelujah. God's people are everywhere, every shape, every color. God came back to save. One white, one black, one brown, one red, and one yellow, brothers and sisters. There's 12 eggs in a dozen in the whole, and that meant all flesh. It used just to be the house of Aaron and Levi. That is the gospel. That is the gospel of Christ Jesus, that he came to not just some stupid freaking place over there that's an apostasy, Israel, throwing out, lobbing ordinances at Iran, others. Yeah, they're an apostate name. There's nothing special about that place. Nothing. God's bride is everywhere. He came, not just Gentile nation was not, if you weren't related to the house of Aaron and Levi, brothers and sisters, you were going to hell. Those 613 law, statutes, commandments did not apply to you. You could STFU, talk to the hand, that was the I am, but he came back, brothers and sisters, the glory of the King coming, the news that came back to save all flesh, but not everybody. Don't get it forward or perverted or twisted. God's bride, oligos. It's a teeny tiny flock. Luke, fear not, oligos. The oligos means a puny or a fraction of the whole. Seriously. So God's flock is tiny, small, and he already bought and chose, so you can't change a goat into a sheep. And if Paul, a mass murderer of Christians and a Pharisee are the ones who hung him, he could take a veteran like myself or devils in here and rebuke his heart and turn him to the gospel. So don't doubt. He took a thief on a cross. He hung out with a prostitute. I said a mass murder of Christians, and he got physical over taxes. And we're not supposed to. No, you have the right to protect yourself. Hallelujah. Oh, war used to be a thing back then. Aaron, Levite, heck yeah, somebody comes and hurts your sister, you go break into his house and kill his sister. Yes, you could. That was not displeasing to God, but no! Let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. He said, not an eye for an eye. He came back to fulfill that flesh, brothers and sisters. That's why it truly is for an apostasy, for a man like me to go serve this beast system, or like devil in here. And we weigh with this on our chest, especially if you understand the gospel, that he said, do not avenge he's talking to Israel. He's talking to his bride. He's talking to his people. Do not avenge yourselves. Let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So we are not his chosen country. Sovereign? No. God is sovereign. Free. Freedom? No. There is no such thing as freedom. It is called idolatry. Porneia latria is to serve idolatria. Idol is our eyes are the things of the dirt, this world, the beast, the machine, It's a world ruling system, brothers and sisters. It's a world ruling system. Do you understand? That is overtaken. Even Rome didn't have this reach. Do you understand? It's an and we serve that. So if God can rebuke a man like Paul or Matthew was a tax collector, God got physical. We're not supposed to be physical, brothers and sisters. He said, turn your cheek 7 times 70. That's 490 times. He said, you must endure to the end to be saved. So that's a lifetime of giving people the chance for forgiveness. You're not, whatever. He's trained, I'm trained, we're trained killers, yay! But do you have any reservation? I say it's like, okay, well, you're like a low-looted Second Amendment item, but you got it on safety. You got any reservation 7 times 70. He said, give that man a chance. Now, look, if somebody comes inside your house, your borders, your walls, you have the right to protect yourself. I'm not saying be a lay down. That's why all our military should come home. I rebuke all these 180 countries, over 1,000 military bases, and we got a freaking border problem? No, we don't. Not if we bring all this posse comitatus says you cannot use the armed services, Army, Navy, Air Force, in a law enforcement. I was a 95 Bravo military. They already broke that in New York, brothers and sisters. So those weapons should be pointed out, not in towards the country. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You know, like razor wire, if it's pointed outward, that means they're trying to keep people from coming in. If it's pointed in, they're trying to keep people from coming out. Does that make sense? Like we have all our freaking National Guard right now at the border. Do I have another veteran in here? Yes, I do. Come on, doesn't it make sense? We are so weak. We got 30 to 50 million over the last 3 to 4, 5 administrations come in here illegally who have not good intentions. People came here and assimilated just fine. Let's not go there. Most of them did. I'm not talking, but these 30 to 40 million people are spread out, and our government spread. I took an oath, and whether regardless of my DD 214 says ETS, I ended my tour of service and I have that honorable discharge. It said defend this. I can't stand what I did, but they obviously did enough job with me to still can't even shake it. Can't take a boy out of the country. You can't take the boy out of the country, right? Because you can't take the country out of the boy. Once a soldier, if you're truly not, some of these vets that I served this, seriously, some of these veterans I served with, they were not true and they were not soldiers. And I don't care. They were shams. That's what they did. They were sucking hind tit. Apologize, but they were ate up and they were not soldiers. When you take an oath to something, that doesn't end. It says defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So if there's domestic enemies on the homeland and I'm a veteran, I'm going to speak up about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, I had 2 waivers, but I did it because, so you know, I mean, I made E1 to E4 faster than anybody ever made it in the military police corps. I did it with 2 waivers, but I didn't do it sucking up. I did it by doing my job. Matter, I was a military police, and I'm not saying you were infantry, hoorah, all that, but MPs, you know, most people don't like the MPs in the military, but we don't meet the standard, brothers and sisters. There's kind of a pride thing with police, military. They don't hire people who just, you know, you have to have a high ASVAB score to become a military police. And so you don't meet the standard, you set the standard. Devil, when's a good soldier need a haircut? Let's see if Devil's got it. He probably got it. It's just a military thing, guys. So anyways, what we do, brothers and sisters, is we have spread it out, all these National Guard from our country, and socked them all onto the border. And that leaves all these states vulnerable to these people that are here. I don't need a haircut. It's already done. Thank you so much, Devil. See, Devil understands. When does a gold soldier need a haircut? He said, I don't need a haircut. It's already done. What the hell are you talking about? High and tight, brother, sister. Boom! I've shaved my head before I went in the military. So I've always shaved my head since then. But shaved my head at 17. I had real long hair. So either way, brothers, sisters, you know, I took an oath to this country, even though I don't like the country. I don't like, oh, you get out of here. Then shut up. I defended your right, freedom of speech. You can't tell a veteran to shut up. Some of us serve this country just to make sure you can't tell us to shut STFU. No, you can't tell a veteran to leave the country. If they're telling you that there's something going wrong and something in the government's corrupt, and you can't just tell them to get the fuck out. And that's what some people try to do to me. I'm like, you don't understand. Your right to even speak up was, yeah, women and children dead in other countries. No, you're not going to shut up a vet. Actually, the only 2 people to stand up, if you look in the last 2 decades, 10, single, 15, half, 20 years, brothers and sisters, in this country, America, has been the cowboys and the veterans. The rest has been the silent majority, brothers and sisters. And I'm not kidding you. Look, I'm not talking about J6. That was a setup honeypot. No. I mean an organic movement of people peacefully forming, using their First Amendment right to speak up and said, hey, this is it. We have the right to redress grievances. Bullets come afterwards. The Second Amendment comes after the first. I gave you the freedom of speech, and we have the right to peacefully assemble. Redress grievances. Have you forgotten? Religion, press, all your first. Second comes after. There's a reason. Why? Yeah, first ballots, then bullets. I'm not advocating any kind of revolution. I actually do evolution, evolve, get around the system, stop participating in it. Bring home our military bases, all our soldiers, and we won't have a border problem. We spend more than $1 trillion every single year, brothers and sisters. That's more than every other military in the world combined. $1 trillion, $1 million a day, 360,000 years it'd take me to pay you off. That is 4 times to the moon and back, stacking dollar bills on end. Every year on this Uniform Code of Military Justice commanded by the mass murder leader of the mass murderers, the commander in chief is Kamala getting in there now? That's not, you might want to start portioning. I served in a law enforcement capacity when I couldn't search a woman. I couldn't put my hands on a woman. I had to call up for a backup officer, and I know the difference. I don't care if you put lipstick on a pig. I ain't kissing it. It ain't pretty to me. Fishnet stockings, it's still swine. No. There's seriously, no, we have freedoms, right? They say, rights, okay? Not, remember, sovereign, God is sovereign. The only thing that exists without darkness and without, every one of us come from this darkness, brothers and sisters, this sin, this flesh, this dirt. So he is only sovereign. And there's no such thing as freedom, and there's such thing as free will. Rights, we have rights. I'm explaining to you first, second, trying to make you understand. This was a constitutional republic, and those inalienable rights, not freedom. Not freedom. Stop it. Get it out of your mouth. That's blasphemy. There's only, if you're going to speak of I am the sovereign who creates all things, that is free. He wrote all these things, but you don't have free. You have self. You can do self or you can do God. There's nothing else in this world. There's no gray area. Just so you know, either with Christ or you're an anti-Christ. It don't go any other way. It don't. I'm sorry. God is not wishy-washy. He's not. That's Esau, and he didn't give Esau the inheritance, did he? He gave it to Jacob, and Jacob was quite the shit stick in the world, wasn't he? Esau was a man who went after God, so you might want to rethink, and he hated Esau before he was ever born or done anything, and already knew he would give the inheritance and call him Jacob Israel. So you might want to relook at this word on how God, because he truly is the sovereign, free will who writes all. And so I know he's doing, because remember when he calls out to his bride Israel, he's speaking to his bride. So if you're not his bride, you're going to not turn your cheek. You're going to go do whatever the hell you want. Abyss, busos, bathos, no busos, no bathos, hell, lake of fire, TARDIS, bottomless pit. And that's what the word says in how I teach people to study in the original text it was written. So there we go. So hell, there you go. I just gave it to you, though, devil, what it is. It's the word of abyss. I wouldn't read your thing. It was just right on time. So anyways, we are an apostate nation. We go outside our borders. If we were truly the chosen, or anything like that, we would be listening to God, and we would bring home all these military, we got Russia, guys. I was stationed in Alaska. Okay. I don't think you understand. No, I don't think you do. Russia's right. You could fart and smell it in Russia. Hey, we heard that over here. The Ruskies over there like, hey, you're one back at you. I see you're one and raise you one, right? No, seriously, it's like 40 some miles. Aleutian Island, it's all right there. People think Russia's like way over on the other side of the world. You have sadly do not understand demographics, not demographics, demonion demographics, brothers and sisters. So seriously, it's not, it's right there. We need to have that. Russia going to come take over Alaska. Watch. Boom. We want it back. They will. They'll get it back. They will. Seriously. I went to Greeley and Wainwright and Richardson, and there's Old Lad Air Force Base. They're not going to protect that from Russia. I'm serious. They already said that reporter messed up the other day, guys. If you would have listened, they already said they're going to get Russia back. So they're not playing. But if we had a Coast Guard, not just the National Guard, the Coast Guard, which should be doing, they're out there. But then they had the United States Navy, the second largest Navy in the world now. China now has the first largest Navy. That's how we've controlled the world, brothers and sisters. Supply and demand, all these ports and harbors and supply chain. That's how we did it. I'm telling you, whatever, it's 5D chess. It's not the way wars are never stopped with bombs falling on anybody. That's not how a war has ever been started in America. You might want to go research your history, because you've been seeing too much television. Wars are started with tariffs and embargoes and sanctions, and we've already seen all of this, Mr. Thumps, with all his China embargo. He's coming back. All this is coming back. So if we put our United States Navy on our borders in the water, and we had enough to come around, and probably come down into Canada if we, needed to, there's nobody be able to get into this kind of, all these people, if we don't go police the world, we're going to, what the hell is it? What? I said 1,000 military, 1,003 plus, and always growing. The government too, always growing, adding more government jobs, more private contractors. No, well, you don't have to be a soldier. We'll just hire like Devil or me or whatever. And now you can go over there and do the same thing, get paid 10 times as much, and say we're not involved in a military conflict with our military. They just hire thugs like myself or Devil to go do that job, in a private capacity, contractor. You might want to look at how we do this, no, it truly is. It truly, you're right. That's why not a lot happens in this country, because we have been the beast system. We are the war machine, brothers and sisters. Whether you understand this country has been at war since its inception. Maybe a couple of years or something. No, there were still military, just like I told you, private contractors and still involved in 5D chess. Wars aren't started with bombs falling. Might want to research her. We've always been at war. We are the war machine, brothers and sisters, since our inception. So don't get it twisted. We are the military industrial. Eisenhower warned about this. Yes, he did. The military industrial complex. So I served it. I rebuked myself. I rebuked Devil. I'm sure he's fine. He'll figure it out. We got skin that made us a little bit tougher than most, and he'll be fine. But every day we walk in this shame, whether you understand or not. I do what I did, what I serve, this beast. These people are supposed to be, supposed people with rights. There's a reason why in, like Desert Storm in Afghanistan, that a soldier wears a mask, brothers and sisters. You can't have facial hair unless you got like a profile or something, which is odd, like some of the different nationalities have problems with some of their skin. But in a true nuclear, biological, chemical environment, your eyes are wet, your nose and your mouth is something that you would want to cover. And that's why when you put on and don a protective mask, if you're in that type of, this whole Vidco thing that went on, which was a nonsense, you have to seal to your face. They time you to do this. You pull this out, pull it over the top of your head, push it on your face. You blow out. That's going to blow. And then as you breathe back in, that seals that mask over you got hair here. So it comes over your eyebrows, over your forehead, comes around the side of your face. Now you can't have any, even they gave me a hard time about having sideburns in the military, because they don't want you to, there's a certain, brothers, under the Uniform Code of Military Dress, even your hair, they can control your hair. Okay. And I know that sounds good, but anyways, the reason why is if there's any facial or even sideburn hair or facial hair, that's not going to allow that mask to have a proper seal. Okay. Now keep in mind, because some of these ding dongs around with, all this attire or whatever, their headgear or whatever, look like they got braces or something. You still have ears. And there's a reason, if you look at a military veteran, we also have MOP 1, 2, 3. These are levels. Okay. Okay. To seal our charcoal, brothers and sisters. They're telling, no, there's no chemical weapons. Well, what the hell are we doing in MOP 3 over here for? Huh? Anyways, brothers and sisters. So your ears, if you look normally at a soldier, if you see them, a true version, they're not just wearing this mask like this. They have a hood. And once you feel that mask, then you pull the hood over your face, which is still attached to your mask. And now your ears, eyes, nose, and mouth are covered from that, protected. You also have a drawstring to keep it taut from getting all this walking around with just this. I'm like, you guys, there's no proper decontamination procedures going on here. You don't understand. This is a sham. People like myself and Devil wore and mask for Do you realize the temperature it is? For 10 hours, he might probably remembers this because it happened more often than you think. You can get what is called an outer respiratory infection, brothers and sisters, from donning a protective mask and breathing your own carbon monoxide and oxide every day in 110, 12 degree temperatures for 10. Imagine doing that for 10 or 12, just let alone the stupid in that temperature, and then breathing. They already know it's bad for you. And like I was stationed, I did some time in Alaska, no cold weather injuries, mountaineering, all those courses I went through or whatever did. If you get frostbite in a finger, thumb, or something, you're going to always be more susceptible and prone, like heat exhaustion, brothers and sisters. Many soldiers know about heat exhaustion. There's a reason in the military. They're always like, why do you always drink water? Drink water! Always drinking water because you need to stay hydrated. You become a heat casualty, brothers and sisters, that's an issue. That's a big issue, just like frostbite, because now you're going to be more prone to heat exhaustion every time from that point on. So just like heat exhaustion, frostbite, and an outer respiratory infection, once you get it, you can get it again. Easily, much easier than the average because you've already had it once. Yeah, not like chicken pox. Once you had it, you don't get it again. It's the reverse, just so you know. There are things like that. So trust you me, this whole thing with this whole masquerade that they were doing, the whole face diaper thing really irritated me a lot. I mean, as a veteran, it drove me nuts because I'm like, this is a sham. Where are all the proper, if I made memes. I seriously meme the crap. I got kicked off the internet multiple times for like, hey, my neighbor's been wearing a mask so long it's dirty. Do I turn him in for the good of public safety? If this thing's such a massive event, then where's all the, biological, decontamination stations? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's following any, or how are you decontaminating your groceries when you do it? How are you doing your card? How are you doing? There are procedures, brothers and sisters. When you are susceptible and prone or subject to a biological, chemical, or nuclear environment, NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical environment. That's the way they say. But anyways, whatever. I'm going to split hairs here. There are proper procedures that you have to take to protect yourself, and there are proper procedures you have to decontaminate when you're coming out of that environment, and none of that was done. So I'm like, oh, wait, it's a good thing I don't have hair. I would have pulled it all out, right? So I was driving me nuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is a mask that you could, that little painter's mat, even your N75 or 9095, that's still, you ever paint that, you still get paint all over your face. It said on the box, does not stop COVID. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, thank you. Just burn it all. That's the military. It's like Motrin, brothers and sisters. They do two things. They burn it or give you Motrin. Oops, sorry. Shut up, Tracy. Seriously. You got sick, you need a little, here, have an 800 milligram Motrin, 1,000 milligram Motrin, right? You cut off your leg, here, have some Motrin. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It just, people don't understand, literally just the procedures that have gone on in this country to truly show that this is, just move out, draw fire. We'll talk about it in the rear, all right? Move out. Okay, right? It never gets talked about in the rear, brothers and sisters. All these things when you're out there or whatever, and you're supposed to have some communication. There is supposed to be like an open door policy and all these type things in the military. You're supposed to be able to talk to your superiors about things. All this never gets talked about. Carry on as you were. Never gets talked about. So a lot of things go on, whether you understand, and they just get swept under the rug. So you got to imagine what some of the veterans go through, that they go, man, I went over there to be a hero, and then I did all these disgustingly horrible things. And, like I said, some of the atrocities they did to, like I said, to life and stuff, after people had passed, and some of the stories and pictures and things that people would take and do to people is just, they're already passed. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them go. It's like something's in pain. You put them out of their misery, brothers and sisters. I don't understand people, but people are sick, and war does that to people. Stress does that to people. Not being able to communicate about things like, is a thing. It's not like, in the military, if they'll just say you committed suicide. Seriously. They'll bring the MPs, the CID, the Criminal Investigation Division. That's the military side of it. They'll, like your CIA kind of, it's called CID in there, and they'll just say you just offed yourself. Somebody will come off you, but you committed. That's kind of a thing. And so you can't really speak up, too much in the military. You got to shut up and go along with the unit, or you're not a standalone individual in the military. You're part of the whole. You're just a cog in the wheel, and so you don't stand out. You're not. One of these things is not like it. The other is. That's not how it goes in the military. You're not supposed to be like that. You're not. You're supposed. It's called uniformity. Dress right, dress right, dress right, dress right. Ready? No, I won't do that. My bad. Snapping back into the old me, brothers and sisters. So let's move on from here and continue with the conversation of what I'm saying. If we truly brought home all our military bases, the military brothers and sisters, we wouldn't have any problems protecting this country, and then we wouldn't be breaking this New Testament that we're under. Simply went off. I told you PTSD will make you crazy, guys. It does. It makes you nuts, man. It drives you crazy, and you just want to go get the and say, all right, I've had enough of this. I can't hold this any longer. It just be easier and go rest and face whatever judgments that are coming. I can't make up for what I've done. Could never. I could sit there and do everything I could try to be righteous, and I could never make up. I was a law enforcement officer as well. I was certified special reaction team, SWAT, all that nonsense. I was a jackboot thug, cop sucker. So I rebuke all these corporate laws that are enforced, all this, it's not of the Father. It's not of the Father. It's not. All these things we do outside our own borders is not of the Father. He said, let vengeance be mine. So if we brought home our military, United States Army, I've trained at Fort McClellan. We work with we're first ones in the battle. Just so you know, the military police are the very first people to show up to war. And because of prisoners of war, they're the last ones to leave. We are the most heavily armed four-man team in the military. Truly a death machine, if you will, a rolling, seriously, four-man, direct to threat. Okay. So, there's an experience, that comes with that. And we work with the Marines because the Marines are very, infantry and front line and simplify and hooah. They say hooah. Army veterans say hoorah, or, because hooah is head up your, what. But anyways, we work with each other, brothers, sisters, the Cav Scouts and the MPs, since the first ones, those are the ones that are doing, the security in the front, doing all your reconnaissance and, getting all your eyes on, okay, on the front line, if you will. And so MPs work very, very, it's OJT, on the job training. We train with we do that. We go over to other countries and we take over there and we just teach them how to do it our way. Security services and all these things that we do. It's just, we hijack everything, guys. If that makes sense. Okay. We hijack and we make people do it our way. Eventually tell them, all right, you got to do it on your own. But first we make everybody do it the way that it's easier to say, hey, everything's all right, everybody go inside, then, and just blow that building up than to let them run around all and freaking out. Right. Seriously, we do some filthy things, guys, in war. We really do. We really do. I'm serious. I know that sounds crazy, and I smile and I apologize. I'm just trying to show you how this works. People have no idea what goes on. No fire guard, no nothing, never been, but anyways, brothers, sisters, hear me out. We train with the Marines because we are the first ones into battle. So the Marines, that's Semper Fi. I know a lot about Marines. I've worked, we work with all the military services, but if we had our military Marines and we put them on the border, they are the front line. I'm telling you, they are. They would gladly do it. They are the tip of the spear. They are. They love it. They're just, seriously, that's their mentality, this whatever. but we could put them with the, the spears pointed in the right directions, not pointed at us. We could point them there with the assist of the United States Army. You understand what I'm saying? We work together. Cav, Rangers, SRT, Special Reaction, rope, dope on a rope, airborne, air assault, all these. So hear me out, though, brothers and sisters, please. If we brought home our, because I don't see what people be so worried about bringing home our military and us not being involved in going and policing the world and messing with everybody else. Well, we're going to get into, they're all going to do this and all that we're involved on these operations. So people, I'm tired of that crap. So people could be free. We already saw that's not what they're doing anymore. So let's bring our militaries home. And if we put the Semper Fi, we put the hurrah, I was going to join the Marines, right? But I couldn't fit my head in the jar. No, just kidding. We put them on the front line. That's where they want to be. That's truly where they want to be. They have other skill identifiers, MOSs that they do just other than straight up, war machines. Like somebody said it, like Devil said, a killing machine. But what are you going to do when you get out of the military? Oh, turn to kill. Oh, you're going to work for the contractors and go work for the government. See how they do that? They hire a lot of Marines to go over there too, brothers, sisters. But if we brought those Marines home, I know they would protect this country. I've seen the way they work. So we got our military on all our borders, Army, Marines. We got the National Guard now back into our states where we're going to need them. We're vulnerable. We got all our National Guard. We have 30 to 50 million people come into this country illegally. Not all of them are bad, but many, just even if a fraction of them had nefarious problems, we got a freaking problem here, boys. And we got all the National Guard down here at the border, including the Florida state. You guys, this is, I'm a veteran and I understand this maybe a little better than others because they just think it's like, that's not the way this works. If you want to see what I can't give away all our secrets. I don't care what I sign, but you want to see what your enemy has, go start a war and have your buddy start a war with him. And then he'll bring out what he got. And you can see is like a deck of cards. You can see what he's playing. Okay. If you want to go there, that hard and that fast, that's the way this works, but it's called 5D chess, brothers and sisters. This is much more than a game of checkers or even a simple game of chess. This stuff is like generational. People, militaries do things like that, whether you understand. Things are done sometimes. They're not always done, bang, 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 You better be able to think like that. As a matter of fact, if you think you're dead. So, but anyways, we bring home the military, Army, Marines. Then we bring home our United States Air Force. And in the Marines, because they fly, Army flies, we have air in helicopters, Black Ops, we have aviation in all the branches of service. Okay. So we bring home all our military and now we have no more chemtrailing. Remember, I'm probably the only person that has a chemtrail tattoo. Why do you have a chemtrailer tattooed on your body, Tracy? Look at that spray. Anyways, any chemtrailer will be shot down immediately. Watch out below. Hey. Headache. Headache coming down. No more chemtrailing, man. I'm tired of seeing my skies look like fries and waffle fries and candy stripes, canes, and freaking seriously. Checkerboard. And speaking of, this is ridiculous, guys. And it's not just here in America, but we could be the first nation to start this crap. Hey, no more of this aerosolic radiation management crap. We're just going to let the system do what it's supposed to do. Let's stop trying to be God for a minute, please. Okay? Doesn't that sound like a better country already? Don't you feel safer already? You've got your Marines and your Army guarding all the borders. Now nobody's coming else in here. We have a $1 trillion military budget. We can shut down all the 1,003 military bases in 180 countries. Now we don't have that problem, and now our budget problem solved. They could probably start actually not sending people $1,200 checks, but, making sure that, we have not veterans, because there are veterans, but let's put us to the side for a minute. Straight up civilians in this country. Women and children that are going to die tonight in this country, they're going to die of starvation and hunger. They're going to die. Death. They're not going to have no birthday next year. Silly pagans. Well, maybe a child isn't a pagan, but either way, brothers, if they're innocent. But anyways, Seriously, if we brought home all these military, we would not have this budget problem. We have children that are going to die tonight, brothers and sisters. And then we're going to send more money to Ukraine. We're going to send more money to Israel. We're going to send more money to Iraq. We're involved in South Africa, over there, Yemen, Lebanon, all these places. We are so over Ukraine over there. That's us, whether you understand. They call it NATO, but that's us funding it. $200 billion of the tax W-2. I said, maybe you didn't go over there and kill a woman or a child in another nation, but yeah, you did if you filled a W-2. You didn't physically go over there, but you funded it. So the blood is on your hands if you're an American and you worked a job this last year and paid. It's been going on for a whole generation unalived. Women too, they're going to throw them into the meat grinder here now too. They said that. I freaked out. I think it was in the Army Times about them drafting women. I lost my freaking mind. That's when I rebuked this country. I hate it. I'll never ever think about this country the same way again. You don't send your women to war. I served again with the first female sniper ever, Sergeant Beanick. Okay, she's a military police. She was a hardcore chick, but I'm telling you, it was a volunteer military that I joined. Nobody made me sign up. And I'm talking about a draft. Like they're pulling people, Ukrainian women and men, 40 plus now. There's no 40-year-olds left. They're going to, but that's a whole generation gone. We throw our finest of our finest into the meat grinder, brothers and sisters. Think about this. All these militaries and all these governments, that's what they want. They take the 18 to 30, the finest of what we have, and they send them off to kill them. So you know what I'm saying? We joined a volunteer military. So that's all my bad. Wasn't drafted. I'm not Vietnam. I'm not that old. Come on, guys. But seriously, they said in the Army Times about 3 or 4 years ago, and I freaked out. I blogged about it, and I lost my mind. I had mentioned it on a couple years ago, too. I think it was actually just a couple years ago. Maybe it was almost a few times cooking, guys. But when they announced that if there's a draft in America, and now Biden administration, and Biden's not doing anything. Joe Biden is Donald Trump. In case you hadn't figured that out, they're the same thing. They truly are. They both went to the island. They're island boys. I don't want to hear it. But seriously, supposedly the commander in chief, and he was the prior. You guys, come on. They're both mass murderers. You vote for a red mass murder or a blue mass murder. Yes, you do. They had the Uniform Code of Military Justice. There is what is called the commander-in-chief. They're the commander-in-chief they're higher than a 5-star general. And that's only during time war. That's not 4 or 5, but they are over the all Air Force, Navy, Marines, Army. They're over all the Uniform Code of Military Justice covers all the military, brothers. It's a law that applies to military veterans. No matter which branch of service you're in, there's military law and then there's civilian law. And so these people are in charge of it. So you can't say that that's not a mass murder because he's the one who's authorizing all these hits. So that's the problem that I too have with people is they like, oh, I'm going to vote for the red mass murder or the blue mass murder. It's Joe Biden is Donald Trump. You mix red and blue together, what do you get? Every single one of them since George Washington has been blood related to the purple, to the queen. Yes, there's never been a pretendant that wasn't. Commander-in-chief, chief, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. Oh, you're disrespected. I'm done with it. I don't have authority. No, I have my authority to this country. Remember, end of tourist service, defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. There's domestic enemies on the homeland, brothers and sisters. It's called our United States government and everybody who works for it. So if you know anybody who works for the government, that's my enemy. That's my enemy. Seriously. And I'm not going to go out and seek vengeance, but they are swine. And I don't sup with vipers. Anybody who supports a system that goes out and uses 1,003 military bases in over 180 countries, when we got starving, dead Americans that are going to die tonight, we failed. We failed not only the people outside the country that were supposed to be the most, the world country that everybody looks up to, but our own people dead. There's going to be a dead child that dies tonight, brothers and sisters. There's going to be a dead veteran, a dead lady, a dead man that dies tonight of starvation. And then we're sending more money. Welcome to having blood on your hands. You do. Did you fill out a W-2? Put W-2 in the chat if you had filled out a W-2. And put your salary. Brag about how much you paid to kill Ukrainian men and women. A whole generation, $200+ billion to unalive, and you paid for it. Good for you. Give yourself a pat on the back. W-2, your straw man, tin man, all that corporate nonsense, because you won't assert and stand up for that either. They'll just keep laying it, put it on. This was a constitutional republic when it was founded, not a democracy. That's right. There were rights. Remember, I'm about rights, not freedom. Inalienable, God-given. I don't care if you believe in a God or not. This is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not a democracy. Democracy means mob rule. You ever been? I've dealt with mob. I'm a police officer, so I've dealt with crowd control, gang, riot, and all done all that, guard the prison, all that, mob mentality, bro. That's democracy. Mob mentality. 49 to 51 means we need to pay these three schmucks off, and we got it back in our favor, boys. Yeah, that's called mob rule. There's no such thing as this was not a democracy, not founded. So I rebuke anybody who supports this. And if you walk down the street and you do an organic video, man on the street, hey, what's going on? 51% of the people said, hey, you got to shave your beard and wear a tutu. If you're a guy now, because 49%, shut the up. You don't have a voice anymore. No, you don't. You do not have a voice. Be quiet. Does that sound like this country, like how this country was founded? There was a judicial, legislative, and an executive branch. There were checks and balances, brothers. House, Congress, Senate. These things had checks and balances, brothers and sisters. This is not this executive order, by executive order, two-party system. This is not the way this country was founded, brothers and sisters. People had rights. You have rights in this country, whether you understand under that Bill of Rights that governs people who don't even have citizenship in this country. That's how badass this country was. It was at one time. Truly, did you hear what I just said? Known for being rough people, rugged, stood up for their rights, threw tea in the harbor over 2-3% taxation. No taxation without representation. Have you forgotten how this country was founded? They banned Christmas in this country when they came here. One nation, blessed, the Mayflower sign. You might want to read the scripture. This was a blessed nation for 400 years, but that time is past. It's gone. It's over. It's past. That's the new age. Whoa, I already told you. The passing of an age. That sign is that judgments are coming on this nation already. Twice the judgment is what it says. It will. I guarantee you, this nation's not going to run from this apostasy that we've done around it. It's against the New Testament. Brothers and sisters, if we were here defending our own borders, we would. That's a whole different animal. God never said that, hey, if, China did it. China did it. China did it. Go research the 14th century. Please do this. Go. I'm telling you now, you guys want an amazing blogger. You guys, who knows who BP, let's do a little shake up here. Who knows who BP Earthwatch is? The real BP Earthwatch, Jesse. Been following him since his first channel. He puts out these videos, brothers and sisters, about the 14th century, about the Chinese. Who's watched Jesse from BP Earthwatch? It's a heads up. Be safe. That's Jesse. Been watching Jesse since his very first channel, very first video. I was doing videos back when he put out his first video. That's the Chinese dynasty, okay? They ruled this world, brothers and sisters. They had boats that would dwarf the largest ship that we have on this earth right now. I'm not kidding. They had massive ships. Please go see, because I don't want to misquote him. Go see Jesse. He talks about it, and we're here again in a sense. I want you to pay attention. There's a reason why I'm bringing you to this full circle here. Things are cyclical, if you will. In the 14th century, brothers and sisters, the Chinese, they were here in America, just so you know. Christopher Columbus did not, Nina Pinta, Santa Maria, fleeing, Christmas, come over here. They were not the first people to do it. They were indigenous. The Beaver Wars, hello. That's what I'm saying. I rebuke this country. What the hell are we doing saying that we discovered this country? But it is what it is. It is what it is. So in the 14th century, brothers, the Chinese, this is where all the Silk Road and all these trade routes, and this is your history. So please just look into it. Jesse does a bang up job with his videos. He's done like 2 or 3 series on this because most people don't understand this is historical record, but the Chinese, they went all over the world, brothers and sisters. The Chinese were everywhere, all over through the water, and they ruled the seas, and they were really dominating this earth, kind of like they're very similar to what they're doing now. Okay. China, America, we go fuck everybody up and blow all their shit up and apologize, but I'm going to be my veteran self here for a minute and destroy everybody, kill women and children. And then the Chinese go are like, hey, let us build you a bridge. Let us build you this, water channelway, and we'll fund it for you. And if you don't, then we'll come in and have some say. But look at the difference between China and us. Now, that's a communist country, okay? And keep in mind, I'm not telling you I don't support any of these. CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, the government, I don't support any of this. No governments, none. Police yourself, govern yourself, not self-will, but go by the agape. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not boast. Do what it says in that book. Let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. That's right, loaded on safety, right? Don't mess around with me. I'm loaded, but I got it on safety. You make me unclick that off safety, you're going to get a chance, right? But if I take it off safety as a veteran, and my dad taught me, don't pull it out unless you're going to use it, right? Don't even pull it out. So, all right, moving on, brothers and sisters. I don't want to think about that. Okay, let me try to get my focus here. Okay, the Chinese, brothers and sisters, they were dominating this earth. They were going around and doing a similar thing, trading and setting up all that trade route. All this is historical record, which is very fascinating. I just absolutely love humanity and I love history. I don't get along with this group now, but it's okay. It's all right. Few I do, but most history, I think I would have gotten along with most people in the past. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. So in the Chinese were dominating, guys. They had massive ships, and Jesse does like a 3 or 4 part series at the Real BP Earthwatch. You can go over there and tell them I sent you. I don't mind. People could start. I'm plugged in. Thank you. I got water in my lap. You're the best moderator ever. So the captains, guys, of these ships, I think they were down somewhere in the southern hemisphere, heard about this celestial. There was something in the sky, brothers and sisters, and it was like some kind of meteor or something that, that was seen. Okay. And this is what Jesse's talking about. That came in, guys, and wiped out. It hit the ocean. His series is amazing. It's amazing because he talks about all these ships, guys, are on like massive heights. Like not the Noah flood, because that flooded. These things are like seashells at the top. These boats, and they're massive boats, guys. These are way bigger than anything we even have today. Seriously, bigger than our cruise ships. Bigger. Seriously, they were massive vessels. And he shows where they're at, and he shows the maps and where they went and found and discovered these things are way up in the hills, because whatever hit the ocean, guys, just destroyed this hole. They were like out there in the ocean, and there's big, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I kind of, that's why today I've been a little bit of a whiny butt, because I'm a little still itchy. I'm just stuck here, no vehicle to 4-wheel drive the heck out of here. And I mean, I've got a 2-wheel drive, but that's not going to get me deep into the bush. I want to get away from people. I don't want to fight with. I'm done. No more squeezing triggers. No more punching nobody, choking nobody. No. I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want to put hands on nobody. I don't want to throw no lead. I don't want to ever pick up a sidearm. The only reason I would be to take an animal's life so I could eat it humanely. That's the only death that I want to see, and I don't think that's going to be. But I hope that's what I'm trying for. So if you see why I'm so jerky all the time, that's always in my mind. I got to get the fuck out of here, guys. These people are nuts. This whole world doesn't give a shit. They don't care about the word. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is themselves. And even if I got to just survive myself because nobody else wants to be with me, I would just be better off by myself if that's the case, because, man, that guy's sidearm's going to get me killed. I'm going to secure that, and we're not worried about him. He's not a problem anymore, is he? You've never been in a situation, have you? Where his sidearm can be used against you, so you take him out because that's safer for your safety. Brothers and sisters, I don't want to I want to go away. I want to be with a few people. To be honest with you, I do, but God won't send me one person. So I have to go by myself alone. I'm a sitting duck. You don't just sit there. As a veteran, he'll probably understand. Double nose mobility is everything, brothers and sisters. You don't just sit there. Oh, we set up posts and bases and, army, all these different, brothers and sisters. mobility in the future is going to be your best enemy, and your biggest enemy is going to be population density. Population density, brothers and sisters, I'm serious. All I want to do is take, because I got way too much food for one person. I got enough food for me and Devil for 10 years. We shut this gate here and never open up the gate and let nobody here. We could sit here and eat like kings, 3 meals a day for 10 years. I got that covered. Remember, I was going to bring more than that. There's more than that. I'm trying to be, I got ways to pad it, seeds, all that. I don't want to eat none of it. I'm just going to supplement and we'll pick out, so anyways, I have too much in one spot and I ain't tripping. God will protect this house. I need to take my stuff and cash it. I've been telling you guys, cash is king. Will somebody please listen to me? Don't do it with me, but do this on your own, please. If you can, if this calls out to your heart, please just listen to me. And I'm not talking about dollars and cents. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about cash, C-A-C-H-E. You put something up for a rainy day. You find a location out of sight, out of mind, and you put that in a different location. Check this out. Donald comes here, Devil comes here, I'm here, right, guys? They roll out blue helmets, guys, something like that, and they're not hitting the main, but I'm not so far out of town that there's not a main road up there in the highway. I want to get away from people, dirt road kind of stuff, guys. We'll come back. Nothing's permanent. We'll come back and scavenger. Anybody play a video game? Scavenger perk, Call of Duty? All these people didn't do anything, guys. All their stuff's just going to be laying there. Seriously. No, I'm serious. It ain't going to be Mad Max either. Watch it. This is not going to happen like people think. I have watched this and blogged about this for American Ever After was the channel, the very first channel that I put out to you. World, YouTube. I have other channels. I got 10 blog channels. I've done TikTok. I've done other. America Ever After was the channel that I put out. The very first channel that I put out on YouTube. Okay. And, if you go back and you look at that channel, I was trying to convey to you the fact that this was the country that we're in now. When this country was already taken over and people didn't even realize it. They just hadn't changed the flag yet. That happens. China came over here. Xi Jinping came over here and went to Chinatown in San Francisco, and they didn't fly but 1 or 2 American flags. They had a couple of those rainbow ones, but 95% of the flags were red with a yellow star and 3 other yellow stars. If he's a veteran, do you understand? He's going to know if you go plant your flag in another country's flag, that means you've been taken over, brothers and sisters. Didn't you ever play Capture the Flag? Call of Duty? Whatever. Whether you play a game or you play it for real life, it's not a game, brothers and sisters. It's not a game to me. So if you're smart, we got Donald, Devil, and me here, and they roll some kind of incident that they've been planning for a long time. We decide to shut the gates, and they decide to come behind the gates. Well, I don't think Devil will have any problems, executing the mission. We'll just put it out that way. We'll try to keep it to the mission. Mission essential, mission creep. Careful, brothers, sisters. This stuff creeps up on us quick. He says he's going to come like a thief in the night. You better be wise and be having your loins girded. He said, have extra oil. Extra oil. Don't be caught going to the store. He said, don't go back to the store. Don't go back to the field. Don't go back to your house. That's not the time you need to be preparing for. So we're sitting here and something goes down. You know what I'm going to tell Devil to do? You better put on some big crocodile tears. You better, and Donald, you better get on the ground and pound your hands like you're a freaking 2-year-old. I'm gonna we're gonna die. Just don't take our lives, please. And we'll leave. We'll go to where other stuff's at. You want to kill somebody over some stupid food, dirt, whatever the hell we have here on this property here? Is taking a life worth dirt? Seriously, ask yourself, if you got blood on your hands, I told you if you paid for a suit, how does that feel? You want more? Seriously, you want more? So if you did this, you could put on a fake, throw a tantrum, and you got it and give it to him. Walk the fuck away. Apologize, Father. Sorry, Father. But he said, turn your cheek. Wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, brothers and sisters, is what he said. Are you going to be wise? Do you understand what I'm saying? We walk away. We live to fight another day. We leave on foot. We walk out of there. Oh, I can't believe they got everything. Let's go back to the other cache. We got 2 or 3 of them, and if we get stuck there, we'll go to another one. We'll see it work last time. We'll do it again. That's how I plan on surviving in the future. That doesn't make me weak. That makes me meek. I'm not a weak individual. I am meek. I'm a pacifist. I don't want to fight with anybody. That's me. Don't turn me back to the old me. Please. More like a raccoon. Seriously, honestly, I'll defend myself. I've been known, whatever, it is what it is. I'll jump in front of a moving train, but whatever it is, whatever. You don't join the military at 17. Oh, still, you can't save the world, Tracy. You can't fix everything. Yeah, all right, whatever. I'm joining the army. You're telling me I'm crazy. You guys are crazy. You don't care about nothing, about yourselves, Hollywood and all your money and all that. I don't care about none of that. Dad was an actor and grandma and television and NASCAR and fame and fortune. I don't care about none of that. I care about being away from people when these things that are going to happen so that I can live to fight another day. I don't even want to be here, but yet I'm going to fight every day because he said you must endure to the end to be saved. That's right. You can't check out early. You can't take the sucker route. And say, nope, no more. You can't do that. You have to endure. You have to go through this thalipsis. The Apostle Paul said, through much thalipsis we must go through. So that's where I've struggled. So take those ideas I just gave you guys and run with it. Somebody that's in your, I'm ready. And that's fine. I will serve him until I go. I'm ready to go. And I think many of us are, but we know we got to endure. We have a lot more suffering to go through before he's not done with us. He's not done using us. He's not done using us. We're not done. I would have got shot in the face by that SWAT team, correct? They knew I was SWAT. They knew I was trained. They knew I was armed. They didn't shoot me, did they? I think they wanted to. I think that was their intention that day, wasn't it? Didn't happen that way, huh? Oh, absolutely. They're going with me, 100%. Especially after seeing how they handled themselves during the SWAT raid. My good boys. This guy here wouldn't even leave the house. Nobody could take him off the property. He wouldn't leave. He turned a man's hand literally bloody, trying to put him on a leash and drag him out. He wouldn't leave. He bloodied his hand. He let him go. He chewed. I came home, and when I got out of jail, the freaking 2 leashes, they were hanging up behind the door, and the door was behind the door. He got, because that wasn't the leash. I had asked him. That wasn't the leash that he took. He brought another. They were behind the door. After they did that to him, he pulled down the rope leash and he chewed all but one little string. And then the rubber leash was like down behind. It was off the loop and down, hanging out inside. He's like, the leash thing, it's not happening. I'm waiting until Dad gets out of jail. You're not taking me from here. But Tango got taken, and he's doing better now. I'm still getting him in repair, getting his body back to what it was. I don't know if it was food, stress, probably a little bit of everything. But he's doing good, and he's back. But they did so good, guys. During the SWAT thing, they did. I was watching them, obviously, because that's all I was screaming the whole time. What about my dogs? Okay, I'll come out, whatever. You guys are freaking whatever. I got evidence. I'm not worried about it. I'm a prior law enforcement officer. I'm not concerned. I've jumped your evidence. So what? Throw me in your whatever, your little jail, whatever. This is not, I'm judge of that shall be judged. I'll be judged by the law that I go by, and I'm not concerned about your corporate, all your stupid, whatever. Moving on. So they did so good, guys. They didn't bark, which they would have. They could have. I know Tango was sitting there and Pants was sitting there, but as they were popping shots, at me, you remember they shot me in the face, with the flash concussion grenade, what'd I do? Shut the door and went back inside. So then they're lobbing in tear gas canisters, guys, at me. And some people, I had some people ask me, like, dude, how the hell did you stay in there? One of those, that little tiny cabin you're in, one of those things, fill that thing up to the brim, and they lobbed like 5 of those things that you're just sitting there talking and doing your thing and writing on your body and just like it's nothing, like you don't, Anyways, brothers and sisters, like I said, some of us do better under pressure, to be honest with you. We perform better, So I feel like I'm in that moment right now. I seriously do. I feel like this is one of those pinnacle moments in my life. You understand? Yeah, don't quit your post until properly relieved. That's one of your first orders that you have. Yeah, do not quit your post. If you're on fire guard, you can't just pull off in the middle, because you got to, you have to continue to serve your post. Okay. And we all have, and that's what I don't have. So you kind of understand, devil, what I'm talking about. I don't have no fire guard right now. Nobody to, at least you have somebody to have your six, your back, you can go to sleep, brothers and sisters. Like, okay, hey, devil, I'll tell you what, man, I got your back. Go to sleep, man. Anybody comes, nothing's going to happen. I'm serious, dude. I will fucking no. But when I go to sleep, I need to make sure you got my back, right? So just having one person is a game changer. I'm always awake, brothers and sisters. I'm always up. I don't have that anybody to have my 6. 12 in front of you, 6 is your rear. So 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So do you know what I'm saying? So this is my plan, and it's always been. I've been trying to teach this on both TikTok and YouTube now for a couple of years now. I've been pounding this into people's brains, is we're not supposed to fight anybody anymore. He said, let vengeance be mine. This is not the testament we're under. That used to be a thing. Great. I understand. God used to allow you to be physical he got physical himself over taxes, but he put that to rest. He made that he could defend your property. You could defend yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can, brothers and sisters, you can under this testament, but you cannot go after somebody else. You cannot seek vengeance. I've taught the word is orge, and I'm not talking about this stupid buy and come on and try and all that. And I'm not talking about that. Seriously, this is something that he made a testament with his bride, and only the meek will do this, brothers and sisters. Most people won't. They want to do this world and defend their stuff and defend their dirt and do all this. I don't want to defend dirt. I need food and water. I already live like a minimalist. Remember, I made this house out of nothing, trash, right? That's how I work. Nothing's new. All repurposed material. Not a new board in. Every board is, some of them are probably over 100 years old. My walls talk to me because everything's from somewhere else, not literally, right? That board's from a different place than that board. See, why does that one look different? That one looks different than that one that looks different. They're all different, just like me. So I don't want to do what the world wants to do. They want to fight and revolution. That's what the government wants you to do. Red team, blue team, revolution, go around and round like a hamster on a wheel, like a revolver, where does that go? That's what they want you to do, is fight with each other, brothers and sisters, is to fight with each other. I grew up in a country, brothers and sisters, where I'm old enough where nobody flew red or blue because of politics or their belief in, more conservative or more liberal, which that's not even, views. Okay. Now it's woke or whatever, but I would barbecue. And if I had, I'd let you, devil's red and I'm blue, and we didn't care. And he doesn't say sup with vipers. He didn't say cast your pearls before swine. I'm not telling you to hang around somebody who's not righteous, so to speak. But just because we have some differences doesn't mean maybe 1, 5, 10, 15%. We would put that shit to the side for a minute. And we'd drink a beer, couple beers, and we barbecue. And the kids little Johnny got his first kiss with Jenny, out by the pool, played hide and seek. Whatever it was. You took that from these children now. These people, they don't agree with oh my God, did you see what Trump did? Oh, you like Biden? Oh my God, did you see Biden? Oh, you like Trump? They're like that. They're like snap. They will not even talk to each other anymore. That was not freedom, if there was ever freedom, guys. Seriously. They Democrat, but they don't donkey, elephant. Try the lamb, brothers. Getting tired of the donkey and the elephant. Try the lamb. Stock up on the lamb. Stock up on the lamb. But no, seriously, see what I'm saying? JW, we put our difference to the side. We get to hung out. We didn't care. We barbecued. We smoked a bowl if it was in a legal state or something like that or whatever. Just nothing. Nobody got out of control. The kids played, we barbecued, and we talked about the things we agreed on. We discussed the things that we did have a similarity on. And the kids didn't suffer. See, it's about the kids to me. Fuck us adults. We suck. We're bad. We're terrible. The children's going to die. A child's going to die tonight because of adults. That's how wrong we've done the children. There are children that die all over the world. All over the world. Seriously, tonight, children are going to die and we're going to fund more war. We failed as adults, the society. He said you'd be better to have a millstone. Better have a millstone tied to your neck. That's the millstone, the great millstone, and be cast into the sea. Right? Be cast into the great millstone. You'd be better have a millstone tied around your neck to be cast into the sea than to hurt one hair on my children's head. I got that tattooed to remind myself that I haven't been righteous. I haven't done righteous things. And I know that I've done wrong, even as far as the spirit trying to bring people. I don't bring nobody. I made a lot of mistakes in my spirituality. So that's right there. I see it every time. I see it every time I see that. It's my left arm. I can see it. It's right there. One hair, he says. You'd be better to have a millstone tied around your neck and to be cast into the sea. To cause one of my children to stumble? I have, brothers and sisters. I have. I was blasphemous, adversary, done a lot of things in opposition to his agape, his shem, his authority, his law, his love. 2 John and 6, to love the Father is to walk and follow in his commandments. If you're a veteran, you know who a commander is. Yeah, you respect your commander. They're an authority over the top of you, and so he's your commander. And if he tells you to carry your cross and be meek and wise and gentle and patient, not boast, caring, all these, we have to be all these things, brothers and sisters. It's not just, some sit on a church on Sunday and pew and nonsense, blasphemy. I rebuke every church in the world. All of them. Every one of them. They're not churches. I think somebody said it. I think it was Devil said it in here earlier. Your body's a temple, brothers and sisters. There's no physical building on this earth that he dwells in. He said that the most, M-O-S-T, most, H-I-G-H, the Most High doesn't dwell in temples or houses made by what? Hands, brothers and sisters. He's not in a brick and mortar building. He's not in a wood that's not where he's at. He said your body is a temple. He destroyed that temple. Yes, he did. And he said Shiloh, he would come back, and the one who holds the inheritance to the crown, to the kingdom, the one who will lift you out of here. And when you get your new body, like Devil and I were done. We're done. We just want to go wait until he comes back. But we got to serve. It's a service. Remember, all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'm not serving. I'm still serving this country, even though I hate it. Don't even want to be here. I stay here. But I serve God above that. I'm a soldier of God before any kind of veteran. Hallelujah. Seriously, girded in his service, he said, he's your commander. He commands you to take up your cross. In the book of Matthew, he said, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves, take up their cross daily. That's a 7-day cross, brothers and sisters, and follow after me. You got to do what he did. That's what he's telling you. It's his testament. Does anyone want to hang you from a tree? Put holes in you? Break legs? Seriously, rip the beard out of your face? Put a crown in your head? Stick you like you're some kind of deer to bloodlet you out so they could eat you or something, like some pagan or something eating flesh? Like Christmas Jesus, orgy marinated transgender Jesus sex biscuit ritual called Christmas? The birth of their sun God, when they tell everybody that the birth of Christ is December 25th, and that's blasphemy. Celebration of birth is blasphemy. The celebration of self is blasphemy. An apostasy, the celebration of self. Can't get no more vain or vanity than that. So I want to serve others, brothers and sisters, and that's why I chose again and he, for me, chose because just who he made me at 17 to join the military. Devil said he did. Some of us don't have any control of this vessel. He's the commander. He's the wind in my sail. He's the one who's steering the ship. It's not me. I mean, I have things, but you should see in my life don't go the way I want. It doesn't. Not at all. Hardly ever does it go the way that I want. It goes the way he chooses. So, seriously, he wants you to be girded, brothers and sisters. So I hope he's your prize. It's a marathon. It's life, but it's long. It's not some short jaunt. I don't think Devil ran quite as much as I did. I mean, I'm a military police. I was a SWAT team member, special reaction team in the military. We used to do a ruck in Imagine rucking in snowshoes in Alaska with 100+ pound. That was a fun venture, military mountaineering training. Oh man, I feel like I've run more than all of you guys combined in this room, and even Devil's in here, and he's. Let's change your name. Baggy Pants. I'm not calling you Devil anymore. Okay, Mr. Pants. Mr. Pants. That's Pants. That's my puppy's name, Pants. So you know, Mr. Baggy. No more Devil. Calling you Devil. I understand. He said it was his name, and that word's demonion, brothers and sisters. That was never in the original Texas Receptus in the interlinear, the original language, brothers and sisters, that it was written in. Okay, the word devil wasn't in. That's just modern day word. It's just modern. So, right. I would also calm down, explain a little bit. No, I can't change me, Big Gunner. You just can't. I'm all over the place, man. It's called PTSD. It's bothering me. If I look outside, I can show you. It's so smoky out here. My dad died in a house fire. You ever heard of a time machine? It's called music. Let's take you back and forth in time. You might want to take notes when you come in here. Get a pencil, write it down. It might be a little easier to follow what I do, because I'll always come full circle normally. That's what I was saying. I leave markers. I'm a reconstructionist, so I make my brain is more like a quantum computer or like a D wave, not literally, but yeah, 5D chess, if you will. I was a reconstructionist certified at the age of 19, literally an investigator, and so my brain is hardwired backwards. So you'll have to excuse my demeanor. It's just I can't change who I am. People run for me in this town, just so you know. They do. So, oh my God, here he comes. He's going to keep us. I'm going to got to talk to him once he starts. They can leave at any time. I'm a time robber, brothers and sisters. Remember we were talking about a time machine? See, you thought I lost my space. There's markers. He said he'll leave markers in the firmament for times and seasons. Just keep track. Get a piece of paper, write it down. Time machine. Music is a time machine. It does. It'll take you back in time. It's so beautiful. What song will take you back to a different time for you? Maybe you remember your girlfriend broke up with you. Your dad died. I don't know, whatever. It could be traumatic. It could be good, but it's like a time machine. And one song for me means something different than it means. See, it's a time machine. It's literally a time machine. See? I'm eternal, so I know these things. I'm not better than anybody else, but I pay attention because I'm eternal. I don't ever end. You ever met somebody that said they're from the future? Donald McFallick, McScrooge, McNugget, McTrumpet, 50-story Apollyon, decorated Satan-loving, Joe Biden-loving, creepy Joe, not sleepy Joe. Remember he follows after all this, right? No, he follows after the other. He follows after this. So I have to expose these unclean truths, as he did. He said, follow after me, conform to my image, right? It's a time machine. We're supposed to do what he did. We're here now. We're supposed to do Make America Great Again. That is a time machine slogan, isn't it? Great again, going back to where you were in time. Yes, there's many Jesuses and Joes. So, time machine. Since these fires started out here, my dad died in a fire, in a house fire. So fire has always been very, the smell of smoke is like a time machine to me. So you know what's wrong with me right now, why I'm having some extra issues. And I didn't have this many issues last year, but the smoke is so thick right now. It's so thick right now. I can't even see the mountains out here. It's a little better today, but it's been so constant, and I've been working in it and sweating and dirty, and then smoke changes everything. So like a time machine, when I smell smoke, I have PTSD from when I was younger, before I even joined the military, from the smell of smoke. So if you know what I'm talking about, like a good music song that brings you back in time, that's what smoke does to me. And that's why I'm a little bit, I'm always all over the place, so you know, but that's what's wrong with me right now. I just can't get my mind right every time. Like yesterday, I worked down in it all day, you know. Yeah, last night, you seen it, it was so in here, it was so smoky. You could see the smoke literally in the cabin. It was so thick.
And that's got me a little bit off, guys. And there's a lot of energy coming from the sun too, just so you know. We just had a G7 geomagnetic storm, and that caused low latitude aurora events. And I kind of have this other thing that's been weighing on my mind that most of you guys are probably going to die because you won't listen to me. And it's not me. You won't listen to the evidence that I've conveyed to you guys. And that's fine. Not you personally, but it seems like nobody is adhered. I haven't had one person come out here, guys, because of what I said. Actually, I did. I had, I take that back. I had, what was his name? That kid who came out here from the city. He just showed up out of nowhere or whatever that. He didn't make it long. He couldn't. He just wasn't. He was a city. And he's a good kid. Actually, he contacted me not too long ago, and he got a job or something. But he's just not cut up for whatever. Guys, I'm not saying I haven't done anything, guys. For 10 years I've invited people to come out here and nobody's come. So I don't expect anybody to show up, but I'm going to put something up here and I'm going to show you this here. So, and I want to show you what's bothering me. Like I said, you want to know what's bothering me? You want to get into my, I just appreciate you hanging out, guys. It's not like we got a bunch of people in here. I don't care if it's just a couple of us in here hanging out. I should be working right now, but the worldly stuff just isn't doing it to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not doing it for me right now. I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle because I'm isolated and I'm alone and I don't want to be, but that is what it is. Like I said, if God wanted it to be different, it would be. So I can't remember what that kid who came out here. I really liked him. I love hanging out with him. And I told him straight out the gate, hey, look, I love that you came out. I appreciate you, but you're just not cut out to, I mean, he came out with the solar generator and he had some long-term food, storage, but he didn't say anything. He didn't disclose anything. He just kind of showed up. He didn't eat meat, and that's fine. I've not eaten meat before for years. But he just didn't disclose a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So we hung out and we churched, for a week. And then it was good. It wasn't a bad thing. I enjoyed the heck out of having him here. Saya, you guys remember Saya on this channel? Saya came out here for what? He was out here by day 2. I'm like, dude, you got to shut the gates behind you. There's things you're on a farm. We have farm animals. There's certain things out, and he just was too cityfied, like I said. But we had a good time, and we hung out for about a week. Then I went and brought him back into Bend or whatever, picked him up. He just showed up in the bus or something. He was going to come dry with somebody else or a net or something, but he had listened a little bit, but and I want to say that, like, because he came from like San Francisco, guy. And I'm not saying somebody couldn't come from San Francisco, but I have to tell you, what my son told me makes 100% sense. And before he came out and he's like, Dad, if somebody can't make it on their own out there, so to speak, and they're not self-sufficient where you need to look after them, please don't invite anybody else to come out there. Stop doing it. And this is, I'm like, well, that makes you have a point, because I don't need to look after anybody. I can add to what somebody's doing, you know what I'm saying? And they can add to what I'm doing. Like, I help you for a day, you help me. That's what I was hoping to do, you know what I'm saying? To have that ability to, but also to be able to step away and not so, oh my God, I'm worried about what this person's doing. What the hell did he do? He almost burnt this place down. He did something insanely weird. What did he do? I can't remember what he did, guys. He did something that almost burned this place down. I can't remember. And I wasn't mad at him or anything. I'm like, look, you're just not used to the way we do things out here. This is a farm. I know I don't have the animals here right now, but they can come back at any time. I have dogs and things, I don't want to bring it up because he was really distraught about it. Like, felt really bad. I'm like, dude, it's not a big deal. I don't care. It's so what? You made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. What is it that he did? He did something very, very dangerous out here, brothers and sisters. Extremely dangerous. Just not, he was young. He's like 19 years old, guys. He's a kid, you know. I give him props for even trying to come out here, but it didn't, like my son said, you need somebody that can be left alone and they can work by themselves, don't need to be told what to do or handed everything to them and have directions. And, you know, like I said, it's, you know, and that made sense. You know, I was like, oh, cool. All right. That makes 100% sense. You need somebody who's self-sufficient, you know, can make it without me looking over their shoulder, and, you know, vice versa. They come over and help me, and I don't need to sit there and give them I don't mind, you know, I'm a veteran, so I can give step-by-step instruction how to do something, or I can take instructions. Lead, follow, or get the fuck out of the way. Okay. There's no other ways. That's it. So you're either a leader or a follower, or just, you know, and you can do both. Some of us that are veterans, we know your role and shut your hole. There's a time that somebody has a little more of a specialty at something, you stand down and you let them give you the instruction and you follow their instructions, you know. Man, I'd love to do that. Seriously, baggy pants, I would. I'd love to go travel the streets, but I was trying to get to where I could get enough people here and leave. You know, that was the idea when I was trying to build this up a couple years ago. If you go watch my TikTok channel, I literally hoard myself out to the, you know, come out here. I don't want nothing. There's nothing. I was literally just trying, but I tried too hard. You know what I'm saying? I understand what I did. And I didn't let a lot of people, I ran a lot of filters. I just had to feel right about it. But I'm not, you know, my concern was getting people out here so that the property could start producing food. It needs to produce food. There's 40 acres here. This should produce food for the community. There's enough area here where I should be able to give away free food. If I had 2 or 3 people here, even if we just took an hour a day each out of our own day, that's enough time for 2 or 3 people to grow a garden out here and to grow enough extra food. You grow a couple extra plants, tomato plants, you got more. You can only can so many tomato, you know what I'm saying, make so much, you know, you're going to have extras. And that was the idea, was to bring enough people out here to have what is called abundance. See, most people are just going to survive, brothers and sisters. That's just the way it's going to go. You're going to have whatever you have at one point. Watch, something's going to trip, and that's it. You're not. Things are going to change. They're already changing very rapidly right now. They will. Watch here. You're not going to be able to go to the grocery store for too long anymore. No, you won't. Target, we're going to close down all their stores. Be able to go in the store. They've already pre-run this all by and right in front of your eyes, and you didn't even see what they did. All this curbside service and all this was all put in play. Uber Eats, DoorDash, this was all put in play before the COVID was already, they did all this to get ready for what is about to come. What I'm telling you about this celestial gas giant alignment, okay? This is what they're preparing for, and I don't care what the world thinks anymore. I'm done with it. We're too many days. We're too close. We're 70 some days. Nobody can figure it out now and have this big miraculous comeback from this. This is something they should have told the people. I'm not saying the world was going to come to an end, but as the world ended as you know it back in 2019 and we had the COVID, we're not going back to that time, are we? There's going to be another event just like that. We're not going to ever go back to that time. See, people everything is the end of the world. They cannot stand society. Everything's fear porn, doom and gloom. They will not look at this as like a bigger picture. Like we can make it through all these events that will lead up to an event, but we'll get out of that event too. And the world will go on. See, what they're doing is they're going to see who's going along with the system, guys. It's all about top-down control. That's all the COVID was ever about. It was about who would go along with the government and who would not. Because eventually, like I said, there's this celestial alignment that I'm telling you about. And I'm 100% certain the government knows about it because I've showed you what property they've overtaken in America. Right? Why nothing on the East Coast? Because the water has made it up to the Rockies in this cycle, and they know that. So you can't tell me that the government does not know about this. I've shown you evidence to prove 100% the opposite. That they do know. 100%. My evidence is stand alone. It's standalone. David is not putting out that evidence. He has his own. He went to Croatia. I can't leave the country. I wish I could have done what David did. He's probably got a wife and money and supporters who support his channel and all this funding. I don't have any of that. You know, you know what I'm saying? I don't have any of that. I have to work with what God has put in front of me. So I've taken the evidence that I've collected over 30 years and I've reconstructed a reconstruction of what I'm told you. Not a prediction. This is a cycle. What potentially has happened before is going to go to be in the same celestial alignment. That's a cycle, not a prediction. Again, and then, wait a minute. It's a cycle. You're not a prophet. No, I'm not predicting anything. This is a cycle. And in this cycle, it does certain things to this earth, but there's different contributing factors in this cycle this time. Cool. Well, Gunner, if you hang out here, I'll tell you what it is that they're getting ready for. I don't doubt, again, and I'm trying to get this phone powered up, guys. Power up these phones so I can show you this image here. Hopefully I have it on this phone. Plug this one in. All right, plug this one in. Let me plug a couple more and we'll get some more. Like I said, my problem, guys, is that I know it's coming, and if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter about that. I'm not going to be wrong about the weather, and it doesn't matter being right or wrong. The weather already is going nuts on this earth. We're getting extremes, higher highs and lower lows, and we're breaking both sides of the records. We've broken 400,000, 1,200. We've broken, shattered. The largest event, look, do I got your attention? I might know what I'm talking about, and I'm not like a know-it-all. I'm always in a study mode. The government knows about this. This is what they're getting ready for. There's been something that they've obviously known about, and I've shown you with my evidence that they've known about this event for thousands of years. Now, again, if the world was going to come to an end again, which it didn't back in 2019, and we reached this type of event again, and they knew that this was going to have a major type because we are in the world's 6th extinction event right now. Less than 1% of the world knows that. Less than 1% of the world knows that we're in the new age. We're not at before Christ. We were in the age of Aries. The ram. He was the Lamb of God. David declared him the Lamb of God. He's Aries the ram. That's a celestial mark of Christ in the firmament. We came out of that age into the age of water. Pisces, Vesica Pisces, through the Vesica Pisces, through the birth of the two celestial bodies, both Jupiter and Venus with a conjunction, the marriage, the two between one, forming what is known as the Star of David, the Star of Bethlehem. Okay? We left an age at the time of Christ. We've already left an age back in 2020. See, they reset the system and people don't even realize it's already happened. Everybody's waiting for something to happen, brothers and sisters, and many things have already happened. We're already in the 6th extinction event. And extinction doesn't mean everything dies off. Nobody will study extinction. Like they don't. Extinction is species die down. Not completely. That's everything that's still here on this earth made it through the last 5. Hate to break it to you. We still got cucumbers and butterflies and praying mantis and zebras and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. It's all here, right? It made it through the last 5. So you might want to restudy what an extinction event is. Yeah, that also sparks evolution. And I'm not talking about growing another thumb, right? Or another arm or a leg. That's not what evolution is. That means these species flourish because these species die down. Certain species will flourish. New species almost pop up in a sense, but not because of evolution, like a new, they change. No. Most of the time, it's just most species will flourish as these others will take time to catch up. The food chain, algebra, you take something from here, you got to get it. Come on, guys. So some of this is very simple. That's the way an extinction works. Not everything dies. So we're in the 6th extinction event already. Oh my God, he just did the Illuminati sign. I love the conspiracy theorists, guys. People are going to cast shade on everything you do, guys, especially when you do what I've done for so long. But that never stopped me. People think they're going to shut me up. I'm not the person to ever shut up about anything. Actually, my dad said, you know what, son, your hands and your feet You obviously are always out there fighting with your brothers, and you fight with them every day, and I know you're always out there because your name is Tracy. Your mom named you that, by the way, not me. So if you get mad at anybody, I named you John. That's my name. That's okay. Anyways, you know, uh, so my dad said to me, he said, son, your mouth is going to get you in more trouble than your hands and your feet combined. And he wasn't wrong, brothers. So I'm not the kind of guy to be quiet, like I said about these things. So if I know something's coming, I'm going to blow like there were 3 horns that they sounded in war during Rome. And the first horn was to ready the troops, get all your gear, be ready to show up at a certain point, and be ready to move out, and draw fire. The second trump or horn or sound, the message is to you have to be there, because next sound we're moving out. This is get your gear ready. This is be on the ready. And the third horn or trump or sound or that is blown or message is that we're out of here. We're moving out. The final trump, if you will. So I don't normally just blow one horn, brothers and sisters. That's not how I work. You're not going to silence these horns. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So he sent me to declare this message. This is what I'm going to do. I have purpose in this life. It's not, I just lack company. You know what I'm saying? I just lack anybody to share my life with. So, and that's nobody's fault but my own, to be honest with you, because, dude, what is this phone doing? I don't know why it won't stay on. Okay, let me try to plug this one in. That one's on. Now, what the heck is that one doing? I don't know what these phones are doing. Come on now. Nope, it's not going to plug in. Okay. I don't know what's going on with that phone and why that phone is doing that. I've never seen it do that before. What do we got here? We got another code. So, hey, you guys, I know I'm not just inviting you to come out here, and it's just because I've struggled with it before in the past. It's not that I wouldn't listen and talk to you or tell me and consider this, but I've just struggled in the past. I'm not open to having people come out here, but it's definitely going to have to be. I've pretty much shut that door a long time ago now. Not a long time ago, but I just don't want to disappoint myself or disappoint anybody else. I live off the grid. All my own power. I'm a middle. I don't live like the world lives. Well, some in other countries, more third world, and I'm not. It's because I have power and I have wind and I have solar and I have, I'm charging phones and I'm on the internet and I have lights and all that. But I'm a minimalist and I don't live like most people live. And it doesn't mean that I have to live that way permanently. I just live that way because I live alone. So, but that would be a blessing in my life, is to have sometimes to have a person on the other end to hold a board, so the board doesn't fall off, or a lot of the times the help I need isn't as much help as I need, less help than I do need help, because I'm so used to doing things on my own. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so used to doing things on my own, because I haven't had that. I've tried, and it's what I've wanted forever, for it seems like for a long time. But yeah, I just don't want to get myself, and I would sign paperwork and whatever. I make everything official so nobody can screw me over, and I can't, and I don't screw anybody else over. I wouldn't want anybody to come here. And just like I said, when Sai came out here, whatever, he came out, didn't work, but nothing was negative. Like I said, he just contacted me the other day and was like, hey, I got a job doing this and da-da-da and da-da-da. And the reason why I was trying to tell this to you is because he said that he lives in San Francisco, guys. And he's taking what I'm saying with this. I don't know why I can't get these phones to work. This is so weird. Maybe this one will go on now. Oh, I see why. This cord is no good, guys. Duh. I need to throw this cord in the trash. It's a brand new cord, too. I just bought this thing. It's one of these bigger, thicker, longer cord, super big and thick. Look how that is on that. You know what I'm saying? It thing worked like for 3 days. Quit working. So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get that cord out here. Wait, that's not the right one, is it? Oh yeah, let's take this one out. Okay. With what's coming, guys, I would love to see people adhere, what it is that I'm saying, because that would make me feel like, heck, my work is not in vain, but I know it's not worthless, but I know that it's God who's controlling this and not me. I mean, makes no sense how I don't already have 3 or 4 people out here, guys. Maybe I didn't have no wife to come out here with me, but it's never been about that. It's about building out a homestead and becoming self-sufficient and having time and not money. It's about having time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll get to that in 1 second. I'm trying to get my evidence up here for you guys to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you all. You can look if you want to, Gunner, right now, and you want to take, I'm not going to go anywhere right this second. I'm just not doing any physical labor today. I put my work here on the net. There's a channel video that's 3 minutes on not my live streams. It's on the channel videos. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds. You'll see it's blue. It's got like some water. I think it's like, you can tell it's blue. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Go watch that video that has all the maps. I don't think I have the update because I had my phone, all my stuff, all my phones. Well, this phone, not these other phones, but the phone that had service on it. They took everything out of my phone, everything out of my SD card. I lost everything, but I was adding to my video that I already did. I have a little bit of it clipped on another one here that I was doing, and I can show you that, but go check it out. There's also a video that's 1 minute and 1 second, I believe, that goes over the 6th extinction event. And then you want to look at the one that says 10/24/24, because that's talking about this date where in 70 some days, you go to my Predestined for Light, and then you'll see videos, not live stream. You'll go to my channel, click on that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click on that, go to videos, not live stream, go to videos. And it's down back there pretty far. I've uploaded some of the stuff from TikTok, and it's not that far back there, but it's 3 minutes and 33 seconds. It covers this tidal shift. And then it covers how I'll show you how I'm 99% certain, guys, that this is going to happen now. And that's too while I'm struggling, because that's what my thing says. What if my evidence is right? If my evidence is right, a lot of people are about to perish before the end of this year. Before the end of the year. And things like this have happened before on this earth. The earth's not always 70 and sunny. We have cycles. Okay. So that's, again, what I'm trying to kind of get you to understand here is I'm not trying to be some kind of prophet. I'm not trying to predict anything. This is not a prediction. This is a cycle. And this is something that this just should have been known and told. It's out there for the people to find, but governments are not telling the people about this event. The issue that I have is there is one other channel that is putting this channel out, but there's nobody else covering this, when there should be some other people, like that are in this field of study that should be covering this. These are like the big channels that get paid a lot of money, that have big channels. Like I said, it's not like I'm going to try to grift you, but I'm not going to make any money this month off of TikTok or YouTube. I'm not going to make no money. I don't think the most I ever made was $100. And most of that came from my super chats and not from the actual video content of, creation that I make of the channel. So, it comes from people just giving me super chats, you know, but unless you make $100 in a month, you don't get paid, you know. So this month, I don't think I'll do it. There's like $23, and I just don't grift people enough, I guess, you know, whatever. But I'm not trying to grift anybody. So, but some of these bigger channels that have big followings that get a ton of money coming into them and fund them, you'd think they would be putting this information out. I'm just some old man out here in the middle of the high desert in the largest dark sky sanctuary in the whole wide world, just sitting here trying to convey to you, hey, this is what this marker is going to be. They're going to line up like this. This is called celestial geometry. You ever heard that term before? Celestial geometry. No, not astrology. Astronomy. So the way the marker, where they line up above our heads in the firmament, and how they line up in the same alignments from time to time. Not always, but that's a cycle, correct? That's all this is. This is just but what the effects of this cycle are going to be massive this time. Weather-wise, because of this magnetic pinch that we're going into. So, darn it, did I plug the wrong one in? Let's see here. Okay, this is what the video is going to look like on the channel. See that video right there? That's the video that's playing right there. That's the 3 minute 33 second. This is just a small clip of the video. That's right. So earlier I said if the world was going to come to an end, which it's not, the COVID, you know, that whole deal was the reset of the new age, the reset of the system, the reset of America, the end of the Mayflower sign of the 400 years of the blessed nation. It all came to a point, brothers and sisters, back in 2020, 12/21 of 2020. Saturn, that second last giant, which will be forming a square, the two largest, both Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn is the second largest gaseous giant. It's not a rocky body like the Earth that we live in. It's actually gas, and so is Jupiter. Okay, these are the largest. Well, the largest star in our solar system be the sun, but this would be the first largest Jovian gas giant. That's Jupiter. And when those two conjuncted each other back on 12/21 of 2020, brothers and sisters, we left that age. Remember I told you we were in the age of fire and we came into water? We left the age of water. We came into the age of air. Aries, Aquarius, the sign of the water bearer, pouring out its water on the foot. Pisces, we're in the age of Pisces, the fish, and we were moving and we're already there. That was the reset. The great reset that they were talking about, that I told you guys 10 years in advance before it ever happened, was talking about it, you know, about 2019 being the last year, and that year zero would start the reset. That I didn't have a crystal ball. I just read the white papers and knew what they were about to do. And what happened in 2020, brothers and sisters? We passed into a whole new age. What else happened in that year? The greatest bug ever, right? The reset of the system globally, right? No, we don't live on a ball. Anyways, so it was the four corners. Okay, yep. This is the age of Aquarius. That's the age we came into, Aquarius, the age of air, the air sign. Pisces was the water sign. Aries was the sign of fire. At the time of Christ, before Christ, we were in the age of fire. He was born 2 and 3 BC, Star of Bethlehem. Christ was born, came into the manger. He was not a baby. Baby manger scene is blasphemy. I rebuke Catholicism and their Christmas Jesus. But when, again, we saw this passing of this celestial body with Jupiter conjuncting Venus, we left an age. So you might want to pay attention to these conjunctions, these eclipses. That was what the Star of David was. It was an eclipsing of two celestial markers, both the largest gas giant. It gets its name, the king star, because it's out the longest in the nights and it is the brightest. That's how it gets its name, the king, Jupiter. He was the lion from the tribe of Judah. Get it? So anyways, when these 4 large gas giants square off in our outer solar system like they did in 79 AD, I would encourage you to see what happened in 79 AD. Don't be like Dennis R., the CIA or Fed worker or whatever here coming in here and spitting your venom. Look at my evidence. Look what I'm showing you. It should speak volumes. If you'll go over to okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so, brothers and sisters, you think I want this to happen? You think I want this event to where if you're on the East Coast, you're probably going to have to deal with being inundated by water all the way up to the Rockies. All the way up to the Rockies, brothers and sisters. This has happened before. This is not something that has never happened on this earth. This is not, oh my God, never before in history. I'm not that guy. So we'll give you a little sneak preview here. That's how much of the U.S. will not go underwater. Everything that's in blue. See that? Florida, Georgia. There we go. Oh, this is the other one, guys. Cool. This is the other video. There you go. This is the video I was working on, and they took it down. There's Australia. If you know anybody in Australia, there's the United States. And I'm going to show you that the government is aware of that. See that? That's federally taken over land, brothers and sisters. Notice there's nothing taken over on the East Coast except for the high points. There's your population density at night. So tell me they don't know about this. You're damn right the government knows about this event. Why would they not be interested in any of this East Coast land? Huh? Why would they not be? Why did it just stop for? Oh, okay, that was the end. That was the short. That was the one that I was starting to work on. That's the other, had some of the other images. That's not in my original video overlay of the population, the density map of the satellite imagery of overnight. I started reworking this, and then, yeah, I had to stop, guys. I know when I did this in TikTok, it took me like 25 times to upload it. It took me forever, and I had to keep chopping it and chopping it and chopping it up. That's why the video is what it is. Originally over 5 minutes of my evidence produced. I was trying to keep it under 5 minutes and ended up chopping it down 2 minutes off of it just to get it to upload onto TikTok. Once it uploaded, my live stream was taken down over there. I have 20,000+ followers. I'd have 1,200. I'd have 1,200 people in a room at one time going over this information. And then they took my channel down. So I came over here. This channel in less than 3 months grew almost to 17,000 from 300 subscribers. And now it's stuck at 17,366 subscribers for almost 4 months. So they'll put the smack down on you if you're over the target, obviously. So I'm still up here, though, so I'm not going to try to overdo it. That's what I didn't want to do. I remember what happened on TikTok. I'm not going to do that over here. I mean, that is the dragon over there. That is, the CCP runs that show. This is the Google gods over here, right? So, but what if I'm right? What if I'm right? What's your plan? You got a way to get over here somewhere to the East Coast or to the West Coast? You're not going anywhere. They already did their April 8th event where they blocked off all the highway and made sure that you're not able to come over here. Notice that goes from sea to shining sea. Yep. See that? All the way from Nova Scotia, Canada, all the way to Texas. Yep. Ark, Texas, Nineveh, Texas, remember Indiana, all the 7-11 Ninevehs it went through. You notice this highway goes all the way from up here to down here to the Gulf. You're not getting over here to the West Coast, brothers and sisters. That's what that April 8th event was about. There's not another blogger on the internet that's put that information out. Not one. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll work hard to produce this evidence for you guys. They can buy the land, but we can still go there. No, you can't, Donald. You don't. You understand. You're not. It's taken over. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, there's the full video. Okay, I'm seeing here. I can pause it there. Here we go. All the government-owned land. This is the... Okay, so see the red? See the red? The red is federal land. See the white that's left in the red? That little cross section in that little stripe in there? That's what's left for civilian usage. So you know, all this is red is the federal land. This is what we get left. This white strip here, these little white sections. See that? Here's the US map. Why nothing over here? Why everything on the East Coast is not, why don't they? See if we have a picture of this in separately. Go into the video here. Look at this, guys. Why does this match? Look at this shape. That's the edge of the Rockies. They know this is going to happen, brothers and sisters. They know this is going to happen. Why have they not purchased up or taken over any land over on the East Coast? Don't you find that to be rather alarming? Hello? Are you on the East Coast? I'm talking to you. You want to hear me? This isn't a permanent thing. Okay? It's not. It's not a permanent thing. This isn't going to be forever. We will come out of this alignment. Magnetism, brothers and sisters, magnetism. Those are magnetic field lines. You see this black dot? There's no magnetism in that black dot. No magnetism in the black dot. Magnetism is canceled. You see that block domain wall, that black in the middle? No magnetism, brothers and sisters. No magnetism. Magnetism is canceled. Hello? Magnetism. Magnetism. We're in the middle of it. That block domain wall. There it is right there for you. Block domain wall. No magnetism. No magnetism in that line. No magnetism. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen. Here's the magnetic toroidal field that comes from our Earth. Equatorial, looks like an apple or a toroidal field. That's what that is. That's the Torah or the toroidal field. This is how the Hebrew language is created, by the way, just so you know. Off of this, this is how the Hebrew language was created. The toroidal field. So if all these have outer looping magnetic fields, that would be like Earth getting stuck between all this magnetism right here. How do you think we're going to offend, guys, in less than 75 days or something? 10/24/24, we're going to be stuck in all this magnetism. You think any of that's going to affect the Earth, these field lines, these magnetic, a second magnetic field forming, Uranus and Neptune forming in our outer solar system, the two large gas giants, we get stuck in the middle of them? See that? I made this so you guys can see about all these. See how each one of those has its own looping field? See, they're all similar. See that? How are we going to offend when we're right here in the middle of all this magnetism, brother? So you think the Earth's going to be 70 and the wind's not going to be 300 miles an hour? You're out of your mind. I guarantee you the wind on this Earth is going to probably be F5, F6, tornado type, hurricane type, straight line winds, constant. You got a plan if the wind blows for 2 to 3 weeks for 200 to 300 miles an hour consistently? Do you have a plan for that? Do you have a plan for if the wind blow? You think that's even a possibility for the wind to blow 300 miles an hour for 3 weeks straight? You think your house that you live in, your little all huff and all pluff, your little stick home that you live in, is going to make it through 300 mile an hour winds? Guys, it's going to pass too. This isn't permanent. We come into this. This isn't a flood. This isn't baggy pants. This isn't a flood. The promise of the rainbow. Remember, stop sticking your thing in his, I've seen enough of this hokey pokey lot. Get your wife. I've seen, turn yourself around. That's what it's, I'm bringing the fire. The promise of the rainbow is that he would never flood this earth. This is not a complete flood event. This is a continental tidal shift where the tides will shift. 6,000 years ago is what you're talking about, Baggy. You're talking about the Noah event, okay? That was 6,000 years ago. We're 6,000 years into the future in the 12,000 year extinction cycle. No worries. So, we are in 6,000 years in the future, guys. And so he's never going to flood this earth completely. Think about what I said to you earlier. I said it earlier in the stream. Cesium-137, Fukushima, all this depleted uranium. Pants, do we need to speak? How long does that stuff we used over, right, in the desert last? What's the half shelf life of depleted? This affects generation after generation, brothers and sisters. That might have not just affected, that affects their children's children. Yeah, the stuff we used in the 90s, 2000 is still affecting people today. It will for thousands. Half shelf life, some of the stuff, 25,000 years, guys. You can't get rid of it. Vinyl chloride. Do you know what vinyl chloride is? That's the most toxic man-made substance ever. Hello? The train spill. There we go. Thank you. Monsanto, the company that's in charge of your food right now. That's who gave you Agent Orange. The company Monsanto. You ever heard of Monsanto? They're the ones who regulate your food. Yeah, the same ones that were waxing the vegetation over there. Almost like we need an kilowatt record to know these things. Yeah. So that's who's in charge of your food right now, guys. The same people who brought you Agent Orange over in Vietnam is now control and heading your food. America, boys. America. So why aren't they telling the populations about this? Okay, guys, I want to explain something to you. We have a magnetic field, like Earth has what is called, we have the same thing. That magnetic canopy has been weakening. It's almost weakened by 40%. That's like Earth being right there in the middle of that toroidal field. That's where Earth's would be our, our North Pole and our South Pole. This is how our energy comes into our Earth from the top and the bottom. Okay? Top and the bottom. Okay? Into the core of the Earth. Okay? Look, guys, this is weakened by 40%. Last night, we just had auroras again. That's what sparked me to do this video. We had G7 geomagnetic storms. Now, we had X-flares this time, but we didn't have heavy, Carrington X20, X30, type events to cause these low latitude auroras. Now, normally on our Earth, you're gonna get auroras up here towards the equatorial, or towards not towards the equatorial regions, like down towards the equator, but up here towards the poles, north and south. Okay. And I don't care what the shape of the Earth is. I really don't care what the shape of the Earth. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. The model doesn't change with the shape, just so you know. So this protection has been weakening. And if you're old as me, you'll remember that the sun used to be orange 3 11-year cycles 33 plus years ago, it was very orange, yellow. And it's not anymore. It's white because we are getting closer as this field, brothers and sisters. This would be like what happens during a solar minimum or a solar maximum. As that heat, think of this as a bubble. Heat expands as we get consistent solar flares, regular solar flares, not enough to penetrate through the atmosphere and cause problems, but it's going to do this to our atmosphere. Like a balloon, it's going to blow up our field. As we go into a solar minimum, this field gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So that means we're going to be closer to the sun. Nothing has changed with the sun. The sun is not doing anything different than it ever has. It's cycling, and just like it does in the past, it's on the same cycle, a solar minima cycle. We're in a max now, but we're headed, and we are 6,000 years plus into a 90,000-year cycle if you know more than just the 11-year cycle. We said earlier, 6,000 years ago was the Noah event. There's half cycles. There's 12,000. There's 400. 4 equals 12, correct? Did you know that the moon, the polarity of the moon, north and south, changes every 22 years, and that the sun does it every 11 years? North becomes south. That means your magnet, your magnetism, your compass points to the north, would be pointed to the south. The sun doesn't turn. We don't turn, right? The sun turns. We can see that, obviously, but we've only ever had in an 11-year cycle. Remember those cycles, 11-year cycle, 3 years, 3 cycles ago, the sun was now we're closer to the sun. Our atmosphere is shrunk down, and it's melting off the protection of our atmosphere. Think about it as particulate. You know what I'm saying? Anybody weld? Anybody ever use a torch? You got all that hot carbon. You got all that carbon buildup in the torch. What color is the flame going to be with all that carbon, all the particulate in that flame? What color is that flame going to be? Anybody a welder? Anybody use a torch? You light a torch, you use a welder, you turn that flame on. It's not burning hot. What color is the flame with all the carbon and all the soot in it? Anybody weld? Anybody a welder? Anybody use a cutting torch? Like gas, that's what the sun is. Right, orange, very orange. So, but if you turn the heat up on that and it starts burning off all that particulate, it's going to go from orange to yellow. If you turn that up even higher, the hotter the heat, Kelvin, the higher the heat expands, right? Less heat. And our sun was you guys, I don't know if you paid attention, but for like how many years, 4 or 5 years before we hit solar cycle 25, the sun didn't even have any solar flares. It is near blank. For how many years? We got hardly any solar flares. So our atmosphere has shrunk down. So you keep turning that heat up, it's going to go from orange because there's more carbon in it. Think about our atmosphere with all the particulate in our atmosphere. As we get closer to the sun, because our sun heat expands, cold was going to cause it to shrink. Cold could also cause expansion too, guys. Remember that. But in our atmosphere, it's shrinking down, which means we're getting closer to the sun. Bigger ball, more protection. If we're in the middle of this big ball and around my arms, look how far away from the screen. If I'm this close and I'm in the middle, look how close I am. That's what's happened to our sun. It's nothing. We have gotten closer to our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is shrunk down because our sun's activity has shrunk down because we haven't been getting regular solar flares to push that expansion like a balloon and blow it back up. Don't let anybody tell you something's wrong with the sun. Nothing has changed. There's a second sun. There's a sun simulus. Stop it. You're childish. You probably believe we're spinning around on a ball or something like that too, right? God is in the sky, right? That's the same reason God divorced his bride, Israel, for God's in the sky and self, making up your own nonsense. So Either way, this pinch that I'm talking about, brothers and sisters, this magnetism, we were in this cycle already in 79 AD. So this isn't some kind of prediction like, oh my God, never before. Do you understand? No, this isn't. This is a cycle that we've been in before in the same exact celestial alignment, except for the two gas giants were switched in the out, but it's still the same squaring off of the four large Jovian gas giants. Square off and form that outer looping magnetic field in our outer portion of what we call our atmosphere. They call it whatever, solars. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. So that magnetosphere is part of our atmosphere that protects us from that energy coming from the sun. So if you'll notice, over the last 3 solar cycles, the sun is not yellow anymore. It's bright white because we're closer and it has scrubbed off all that magnetic canopy. So the last time we were in this celestial alignment, brothers and sisters, our protection was fully expanded and our earth got hammered by volcanism. Literally, look it up. Anybody know what happened in 789 AD on this earth? Not a prediction. What happened? And if our protection, like a veteran, we've got full armor, was 100%. What if 40% of our armor was weakened? How do you think we're going to fend? If we got rocked with full armor and now we're going into the same alignment with only 59, 58% armor, how do you think we're going to fend? Weather-wise. Weather. It is. I'm getting hungry. Weather. I'm not talking about the end of the world. I'm talking about weather that will end your world, though. Oh, yeah. People die every day of weather, brothers and sisters. People die at hundreds, tens of thousands. Sometimes people lose their life in a single day because of weather. It's not always 70 and sunny. I'm tired of hearing this crap. Everything is awesome when you're part of the team. America, grow up. Come on. You boys are big boys. It's getting hot, guys. I'm going to peel this shirt off. I'm starting to get sweaty in here. You have to deal with my skin hair. Let me get something warmed up here. I want to eat. Get something. What do we got here? Yeah, let's get this warmed back up. Everything is awesome when you're part of Team America. Woo! Oh my gosh, Kamala Harris, baby, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, John Kennedy, George Washington. Get out of here. Stop it. Stop giving your allegiance to a flag. Remember, Mr. Trump's going to sell you Bibles and they have the Pledge of Allegiance in them. Who do you give your allegiance to? Team America! You love that, don't you? No, Vader Toggy, you don't try to be eating the kittens' food. That's for the kitties. Let me see if I can find you something for the doggy. Vader Doggy. All right. My moderator said it's snack time, so I got to have a snack. You make sure that I'm taken care of. Come on, later, guys. Here, be it. There you go, Panther boy. There you go, guys. You can have that for the boys. All right. Trying to get me something warmed up here. We'll go back at this. We'll hit this again. Everything is awesome. Oh, stop singing that stupid song. Oh, yeah, the Redbirds. So, all right, you guys, I apologize. Strip this shirt off. It's getting hot. Again, out here, I think we're hitting the 90s. Go back, see what you guys are saying here. Look at the snowy antenna. That is God's wrath at work. Okay, devil, what I want you to do is go back to prove what I'm talking about here. I want you to go back and I want you to watch Jesse. I already gave you this name once, okay? So I've been doing this a long time, brother. I've been doing this a long time. Go back and watch Jesse's channel. On that day, we had X flares that hit this earth, and Jesse from BP Earthwatch was following the sun. He's one of the few people on this earth at the time was talking about these solar flares. These X-class flares were going to hit the earth. And he shows exactly where they hit that day. It's going to be old video, but you can go back. He still has that on his channel. That day when he called and he showed when it hit the exactly BP, the real BP. Thank you for dropping the link there. The real BP Earthwatch. Jesse did it that day, guys. When on that day in Fukushima, he was talking about this energy coming from the sun. And then we watched it hit right where, and it hit right where Japan was, and it pushed right there. And that's what caused that. A lot of people said it was man-made. There's a lot of people said that event was man-made, and that is not. That's like the Last Supper at the Olympics. That wasn't the Last Supper. That wasn't the Last Supper. So let me finish that too, guys, on what Jesse was talking about earlier. You guys remember when I was talking? I'm bouncing around. And I said I know I would do that. Take notes. You guys remember when I said the Chinese fleet in the 14th century? They had a tight grip on the world. The Chinese did. They ran this world, brothers and sisters, and they ran it by the sea. They ruled the world by the ocean. Where do you think America got that from? Yeah, they copped that from the Chinese. But in the 14th century, brothers and sisters, again, their captains of their ships heard of this celestial in the sky. I'm not saying this is a event, but I want you to listen to me. We'll continue on with this other here. But yeah, the nuclear disaster. We saw the solar flares come in. We saw exactly where they hit on the plates. That was all done by the sun. 100% by the sun. And you can watch the energy coming in from the sun. They literally on the maps, you can that's right. Thank you. Exactly, Anonymous. Still to this day, they have not repaired Fukushima. Those rods are still leaking into the Pacific Ocean. So if you went and watched Jesse's talking about this, that the Chinese guys, they ran this world. I mean, they were here in the Americas. They were over in the European nations. They were all over the world. They ran and traded all the finest things. The Chinese dominated this earth, brothers and sisters, in the 14th century. There was something in the sky, though, that the captain saw from behind. And they came, and guys, it came in, and it hit the ocean. And it sent those boats to the highest peaks in the southern hemisphere. And some of the highest peaks on the continents, it sent those boats in the highest peaks. From that point on, guys, that is where the Great Wall started. The Chinese party went from being a completely mobile, going all around the world. And they're doing that now, brothers and sisters. If you look at what I'm talking about, I'm just trying to show you the parable. Some great event came, the great millstone, and then an angel will pick up a millstone, right? A stone, like a great millstone, and he'll cast it into the sea. That's in the book of Revelation, so that's still going to happen. Every jot and that's still on board. We haven't seen that one yet, guys. We haven't seen that one yet. Not in our time. No, we haven't. So you better hold to your horses. That great millstone is coming. That we have yet to see that event in our life. Why do you pay so much attention to that book, Tracy? Because it's a cheat code. I got a crystal ball for the future. I'm not a prophet. It's called the Word of God. Every jot and every tittle will come to pass for that great and dreadful day of the Lord. Terrible. So, after that, guys, that's when Chinese decided to bring all their people home and built the Great Wall of China and decided to bring everything home. Stopped trying to go outside their borders and do all that and came home and built the Great Wall. That's where how the Great Wall got there. Okay. At one point, the Chinese, they ruled this world through their shipping and their shipping lanes and the Silk Road and all the trade routes. And they did it by sea. By sea. And they're doing something very similar right now. They have the largest navy, brothers and sisters. That's the stupidest thing China probably could have ever done. Hear me out. Chinese dynasty in the 14th century, something God threw from the firmament at this earth, destroyed the largest military and the largest, at the time, the controller of this earth. And if you look right now, China is with the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, all these other ones that have joined since then, they're rebuilding this old Silk Road, brothers. It's called the Belt Road Initiative. And if you pay attention, it's like 40% of the world's resources, population, superpowers, and not one single dollar is being spent on that infrastructure. No. I believe it was 2023. It was last year that China now has the largest navy in the world, brothers and sisters. They surpassed the United States of America. Yes, they did. Here we go again with the largest amount of ships. These people better be careful. That's right. Gog and Magog. Thank you so much, devil. You better be ready for that. I already told you. You're taking notes. Where's Gog? That's the north. That's Russia, brothers and sisters. They're going to come in through Canada. All this distraction of the southern border is just a big brothers and sisters. A big distraction. The invasion will not be from the south. The invasion will be from the north, like it says. Thank you, Baggy. Yes, sir. Gog and Magog. And it's also going on over there in Israel. When you see the nation of Israel's army surrounding the world, no, there will be markers. Did you guys hear what that Russian reporter said? Did you see what that Russian reporter said? They were going to take over Alaska? Slipped up? I don't think it was a slip up, guys. So, I believe that's something that you will see in your lifetime. And I think it'll happen it'll either happen in the next administration or it will happen before 2030. I'm not picking an exact date, but it will happen. It will happen. They will attempt to make their invasion through the north. Yes, they will, and Canada will let them. Yes, they will. Who's the first people to bomb Syria over there? That's been going on for a long time, huh? You might blow your mind on the first one, Syria, Bashar al-Assad. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's been going on there for a long time. These are the first people to send their force over there. I'll give you a hint. Was the United States. Isn't Russia over there with Syria? It wasn't Russia. It wasn't Russia. Brothers and sisters, it was Canada. What? Canada. Trudeau is related to Castro, if you hadn't done and chased the lineage back. The United States was not. It was the Canadian Air Force, brothers and sisters. It's insane. I was blown away when I heard that. I went back and triple checked that. I'm like, yep. No way. Look what they just did in Canada. Because of the truckers. Yeah, that's part of Gog and Magog, though. Too. Baggy, it is. That's part of Gog and Magog. Thank you for mentioning Turkey. There we go. Gog and Magog. There it is. You guys got it. Hey. At least you're not paying attention to all the stupid crap that's about to happen in this world. Some of you guys are in the Word. Bless you so much, brothers and sisters, for that. This world ain't crap, man. Thank you for staying in the Word of God. Bless you so much. That's what's more important than anything else in this world, brothers and sisters. We need to pay attention, but that needs to be on the priority list. I appreciate you guys keeping the Word front and center, at your 12 o'clock, right in front of you. Ezekiel, love that book. Love it. Talks about this battle, brothers and sisters. This saying, the Gog and Magog, is talked about in the book of Ezekiel. Thank you, lady. Hallelujah. Damascus will be turned to ruinous heap. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to that, aren't we? When you see the army surround the nation of Israel, you guys were there. Lebanon, Gaza. Hold on a sec. Yep, to the south. Oh. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Isn't it beautiful, man? Isn't it so beautiful, though? And we're getting to see all these things that it says in that. It's my favorite book. It truly is. I love the book of the Apocalypse, book of Revelation, brothers and sisters. And jots, tittles, he said all of them will come to pass for that great and dreadful day. So do you realize what I told you earlier? You were here to witness the passing of an age. That happened at the time of Christ. That hasn't happened in 2,600 years. And you got to be a witness to that passing of an age? Hallelujah, Father. We'd have been born one and generate 100 years in the future. We would have missed it. You understand? You've been born 100 years later. You'd have missed it. 100 years earlier, we were right here at the right. Do you realize how special? You were here for the same things that happened at the time of Christ, brothers and sisters. And that doesn't get your attention? That doesn't get you to set this world down for a minute? I don't know, man. Hallelujah. The passing of an age from fire to water at the time of Christ, from water to air in our day. 12/21/2020. I'll give you the day of the passing of the age. Welcome to the 6th extinction event. Same day. That's right. The world not only came into a passing of an age, but we entered the world's 6th extinction event. Right on the line. Right on the line. Congratulations. You've already made it 4 years into the extinction event. You didn't even think you were going to make it, did you? You thought you heard extinction. You thought we were all going to die. Well, guess what? Some of us are die hard. You have to beat the heartbeat out of us. Oh, we'll get back on that horse and ride. We might gripe a little bit, knock the dust off of us, whatever, but we'll put our teeth back in our head and we'll talk some more. Ride again. You got to beat the heartbeat out of some of us, brothers and sisters. We're not going anywhere until until they throw us in the dirt. Heck yeah. I need to remember that. Be more positive, man. Stop being such a whiny butt. It says every knee will bow, Baggy. Every knee will bow. Every person on this earth will see Christ. And he will come, because he's not coming to this earth, brothers and sisters. If you think that Jesus Christ is going to be on this earth before you are dead, you have not read the Word of God. You probably fall for these nonsense Christian idiots. Thinking they're going to get out of here, raptured. Nuh-uh. It says you'll be changed in the 20. There will be a series of trumps, just like Baggy said. 7 of them, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes, sir. I told you there were 3 in Roman times, but there are 7 trumpets. 7 is the number of completion. 7 is to be matured, to be finalized. 7 is the number of judgments, brothers and sisters. Yes, it is. And when those 7 seals open, and that 7th seal, that final trump, that there's a series of trumpets. And when that final trump sounds, that great and dreadful day of the Lord, he puts 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the sea, and he's not talking about this earth. And he says, time is no more. He says, you'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So there's no getting out of here early. All this 1,000 years of a reign of Christ coming back to earth, he's here with us now, brothers and sisters. Your body is a temple. There's no Christ coming back to this earth until he burns this place with fire. He will remove the earth from this, the heavens from this place. That is not somewhere in the sky, and that is not another ball. We're not on a ball. Hate to break it to you. We're not spinning on a ball. And I don't want to hear about flat, round, ball, camp, band, whoever's flute, ball, camp that you're in, or whatever you're blowing, or whatever camp you're in, or keep it to yourself. The heavens and the earth will be shaken, he said. He never said stirred. Shaken. It says the earth cannot be moved from its foundation. You don't live on a planet. God didn't create one planet. Never once did God create any planet. So why do people use the term planet Earth? Because they're heathens and idolaters, and they love to make up their own their own words, their own rules. We're going to go to the moon, right? In a spaceship called the sun god, Apollyon. Apollyon, why are we going to the moon on the lander was called Apollo, the sun god? Look how they slapped people in the face way back then. Revelation 9 and 11, it's right there. It wasn't hiding. You didn't need the internet to find it. The World Wide Web, right? So I hope you're ready, guys. He said, I want to find your loins girded in my service until I return. And so you could die and then he won't come back till later. And then are you girded in his service till he returns? Yeah, you can die. Nobody knows the day or the hour. You can die today. He might not come back for another 100 years. You can be ready when he comes back. He said he'll raise the dead from the ashes and the dust, not out of the sky. See, God's not in the sky. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did great works and I cast out demons in your name. Distributes the fortunes and lies. He's going to be like, yeah, please. Right? No. Serious. Is he right? He's going to say it? You guys remember to hear what I just said? That's what he's going to say, right? That's the modern day version. The slang of if God had slang and spoken slang, that's what he'd say today. Right? Oh, I did great works and I cast out demons in your name. Did you hear what I said? That's what he would say. We'll speak some new mystery, Babylonian. He did. That's what he would say today. He'd come back and he'd say that to only like 99% of the people. So, I hope we get flagged for that one. Oops. It's just a term. It's not even real. God is a title. That's not his name. To take the Lord's name in vain is not by, God damn it, that's not his name. Are you that ignorant? Probably taking his name is calling him, well, let's not go there. I don't know, maybe Jesus, the letter J didn't exist at the time of Christ, so all glory to Jesus Christ, brothers and sisters. Yehoshua Mashiach, so, but do you have any idea where some of these history, like the word fuck you know where that came from? Apologize. You have any idea where that word came from? That word fuck you. That's not cursing. That's not, people have made, that's not history. The you, the bow, they used to flip the bird. They would cut off their fingers so they couldn't pluck. The you, bow, pluck you. So they would cut off their fingers so they couldn't pluck their you. People think fuck you is a word, like it's a cursing. No, it's not. You don't know what the abyss you're talking about. You have no historical record about what's coming out of your mouth. You're a translator. You probably go after a trans God instead of Christ Jesus, the Hamashiach, the Messiah. Seriously, I don't even like saying that word, but just to let you know, if you want to break down historical record, that's where the term fuck you comes from, not this modern day version of what people call that. That's just that same version of what they would cut their fingers off, their index finger, their fingers so that they couldn't pluck the you, bow. He said he comes back with a toxon, the bow and the arrow. Pluck you. No, seriously, guys, come on. Do you know? Look at this up, guys. Look at this. I'm not giving you the exact, I think it was the French and the, who else was it? You look it up. It's historical record, brothers and sisters. You can look up things like this and people don't want to do any history of their own. I don't mean to say that word, but it's not even what people think, guys. Plucking the U-bow was literally with the fingers, and that's why they would cut their fingers off, and that's where getting the bird comes from, and it's all the same. But it doesn't have anything to do with the curse word. Casting spells on you, aren't they? With words. Telai, spells, casting spells, right? I can keep going. I don't see if anybody can add to it there, but don't they? They tell lies to your vision. They give you verbal voodoo. Tell eye vision, verbal voodoo. There you go again. Telling you, having you drink spirits. I can let my puppy in. He wants back inside. He just wants to be with the dad all the time. Can you literally curse somebody? Can you curse somebody? Curses and spells, right? So anyways, you guys ever heard that? The story of how that whole flipping the bird and plucking the ewe came? Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear the history of that term? You know, where that comes from? It's not what people, you know, it's not a curse word like people, they've taken something and just, froward is the Greek or the Hebrew word to twist it, changed it from what its, you know, original meaning, translated it, if you will, into this modern day, hey, you're cursing. Really? Pluck you. Right? No, just kidding. Pluck somebody you love. Like Cupid, right? Bow and arrow, right? Nimrod. Apollyon. What are you doing? No, that's for dead. No, that's for dead. Already gave you a treat. All right, give me some more water. Heck yeah, actually it's starting to clear up the wind. Heck yeah. Wow! Man, I can see, oh man, that's awesome. I can see the freaking side of the hill, guys. Hell yes. Man, I might go out and get off here and go work. I can actually, I haven't been outside this morning. It was smoky, guys. I can see the side of the hill. Well, thank you for coming in and responding there. But look that up for me, can you? Herrera, you'll see it's not what people say it is. It's not. And I'm not into, I don't normally, like I said, I've been really, I don't know. I streamed thousands of hours. I never cursed one single time. I don't know what's gotten into me. It's ever since before they came out here and swatted my house and arrested me and stuff. It's been a little bit stressful, and I've been under some pressure, and my mouth has gotten a little bit more loose-lipped. So I do apologize. I have streamed for a long time, for months and months and months, years, without ever cussing one time. But I don't know what's gotten into me. So I apologize, because you're not supposed to be foul-mouthed, you know. And I used to think it was okay because I was a veteran. Well, I can get away because I'm a veteran, you know. And actually, I don't like, you know, whatever. If I do use it, guys, I'm trying to use it as kind of like a, and I don't ever put it down as like an exclamation point. I try to use them at the right time, you know. I don't try to overuse them, and I really wish I'd stop using them altogether again. But I'll get past this stage. It just, I'm changing a little bit, and hopefully for, you know, the good, you know. But I don't try to be a teacher and teach people the word of God and be running around cussing and stuff like that. That's not, it's not very righteous. So I apologize, guys. I told you I'm just filthy rags. So, it's 6:32 there. Whoa! I didn't realize that late already. Awesome. I'm having a good time today. Time's flying, guys. You guys have helped me out today. Today has just been kind of a, you know, like I said, a difficult today. And I know a lot of it is that G7 geomagnetic storm that's, you know, that's hitting our Earth. It's here right now, you know. So anyways, let's get back to the subject here real quick. This 10-24-24 celestial alignment, guys. I don't want to be right about this event. And let's say I'm not right about the tidal shift. I do believe that weather will dominate this Earth at one point in time, where the governments will actually have to announce that, hey, look, guys, we didn't say anything, but, you know, no, it's 6 running. Oh, no, it's 5. What? Oh, yeah, okay, it's 5. And you're not going to be able to run from the weather. Eventually, the weather will get you. You know, you're just playing like, I don't mean to go there, but you're like playing Russian roulette, spinning it around, thinking that sooner or later it's gonna just keep missing you. As I said, sometimes, you know, 100,000, 10,000 people lose their lives or are displaced by weather every day on this Earth. So what are you doing? Waiting for it to be in your backyard before you do something about it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to cause and incite any kind of fear. I want you to be weather related. We think about the weather, thinking, hey, weather might dominate this Earth, and I want to try to figure out a way to, you know, until the storm blows over, have a chance. You know, storm shelter. I'm in an area where there's high tornado prone. I'm going to probably invest and look into some kind of shelter, storm cellar, shelter, something, so that when that day comes, I get in the shelter, the storm blows over, and I live another day. It's not the end of the world. It would be if I didn't have that storm shelter to be like, hey, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, right? Seriously, it's not like the end of the world. That's what I really wish people would stop taking what I say and making it into like, hey, this is the end of the world. This guy's some kind of prophet. That's the farthest thing from what I'm trying to convey to you. I'm trying to convey to you that weather has before shaped this earth. Look around you. Why do you think the mountains look the way they do? You think that happened because it was 70 and sunny outside? You know what I'm saying? Do what you feel like you should do in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Do what you should feel like. Just trust your instincts. Go with your gut. Pray on it. Pray on it. Go to a dark place in secret when you have the time and pray on it. Listen to that still voice inside your head. See what he has to say about it. Discern all things. You know, if he tells you to stay where you're at, no weapon formed against you will prosper. Nope, not even his. The greatest weapon he has is the sun. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Don't fear this, brothers and sisters. Please, this is not, as I tell you in the book of Jeremiah. He tells us, Jeremiah 10. He's speaking to his prophet Jeremiah, and he says, and he's calling out to Israel. He says, Israel, thus says to the Lord Israel. He's talking to his bride. And he said, be not dismayed at the ways of the signs in the heavens, in the firmament. Okay, that's what it says. Okay, don't be dismayed. I'm not trying to cause you an alarm and fear and anxious, and you do what you think you need to do. Listen to your gut. Listen to your instinct. Listen to your gut. It will tell you what you need to do. God will speak to you. If you get the fuck out of there, go over to where that guy's at. This guy might be crazy, but he's got good evidence. You know, some of the most intelligent minds in this world were not called quite eccentric, if you will, or eccentric, crazy, maybe a little out of their mind. Some of the best minds on this earth don't think like other people, brothers and sisters, just so you know. I kind of didn't ask for that mind. That's the way it happened, you know. I'm not saying I have a great mind. I said it's different, okay? You know, so, but I want you to listen to that voice inside your head, because that chatter that you have needs to be turned off. And Christ is inside of you. God is not in the sky. God is inside of you, and he will tell you exactly what you should need to do. But I want to tell you that in his word, he said, do not be anxious. And then through his prophet Jeremiah, in Jeremiah 10, he said, learn not the ways of the heathens, for their traditions are vanity. Be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the heavens, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Don't be a heathen, please. Don't be a pagan. I'm not trying to get you to, hey, look, you know, it's the end of the world. That's not what's going to happen. Will it be the end of the world for a lot of people? Yes, it probably will, brothers and sisters. I don't want that. I don't want to be right about this. I got to start preparing myself for the day that it does happen, though, and how I'm going to live my life if I make it through this, just like you. If I make it through, I don't know. God was going to take me, and he's ready. I'm not going to take me. I'm never going to hurt myself, unalive myself. I'm never going to do that. I want to, but I won't do it. I don't want to do it all the time, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't want to be here anymore at all. I don't know nobody to share my life with. I don't have no wife, no friends, no family, nobody. I don't have anybody. I'm a loner. I'm about as loner as it gets, man. I live out on 40 acres. I don't have a neighbor in sight. I can scream my head off for help right now, and nobody's going to come save me. I've isolated myself away from society because I can't do society. Nobody will take me seriously in this world. Very few people will. And that's okay. I don't want to try to make anybody do anything. I don't want to try to change anybody. I just want people to look at my evidence and do with it what you will. So the same thing. Take the evidence I have, look at it, and do what you think is right. Do what you think. If you got family, do what you think is right for family. Okay? Do what you think is right for yourself. Remember, you always put the oxygen mask on the airplane on yourself first before you put it on the kids. There's a reason. You can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself. If you got issues, you're going to be the one reaching your hand out, right? But there's nothing wrong with be the person reaching down and lifting that person up either, though, brothers and sisters. Both people win. So be wise, be ready, whatever you think you should do. I really wish all my subscribers that are on the East Coast would have already moved here on this property with me. I got 40 acres. I bet you not all of them, but I bet you I could have moved a chunk of people out here with me. Now we've been a little weird and we probably could have made it work. We might have had some issues, but I think we could have probably worked through a lot of these things. And then you move back if it don't happen. That's what I've invited people over and over. I have probably invited at least 20 or 30 people that I thought they were worth, say, hey, you can come over here. I don't have to put you on my land. I can bring you over here. I can give you all the information about buying land, the rules, all this, I have extra land. If you don't want to stay with me, I have 20 acres right up the road, 3 acres up the road. You don't like that property? I got another one that I got for sale up the road from that one too. There's 5 acres over there, right on the highway. You don't even have to go on no dirt roads, no nothing. No gravel, no nothing. Just straight from the road right to your property, right? I got ways to help people, but nobody was taking me seriously, That's what I said. I kind of just, some people, I want to, but I need to know that you're really, and like I said, I might not be right. But I don't think I'll be wrong about the weather, is what I don't think I'll be wrong with. What I hope I'm wrong with is this title shift. But guys, if I truly had to tell you, what do you think, Tracy? What do you think in your gut? What does your gut tell you? Remember I told you, what was that, Denise R. come in here earlier and told you and called that thing out right out the gate. Now, wait a minute. Something don't feel right here. Why is Oregon different from anywhere else? What do you mean is it different? What do you mean Oregon different from anywhere else? It's the oldest place in the Northern Hemisphere. The oldest clothing on the planet was found right here. Pretty much right here in my backyard. They found an 1,000-year-old camel tooth not too long ago right over here. Oregon is the only state that Earth equals 33. Christ was 33 when he passed. 33 or Gray Mason. Interesting. Gematria, you pay any attention that you do in the numbers things? So truly, it is the oldest place. They found the oldest clothing right here. It predates anything in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. So, and where I'm at is tickets to the front row. You want tickets to the front row for the big show? Come out here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Tickets to the front row. Want front row tickets? I can't promise you backstage passes, but I can guarantee you'll get a ticket to the front row. So I found a geological feature on this earth, brothers and sisters, that doesn't exist anywhere else, which is kind of amazing. I think it's going to have everything to do when this thing goes down. There's a reason why this is here. But I wish, guys, I want to just speak freely again, if I could, just openly. Man, I wish I had about 10 or 15 people right here, right now going, man, it's getting close. Dude, I hope you're wrong, man. I have a property back there in Georgia, Alabama, New York, Florida. And man, I got everything invested in that. I'd really like to go back there, and I hope you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're wrong, Tracy, but let's hang out until then. All right, what are we doing today? Whose cabin are we working on today? Oh, we're going to do the community center thing. Okay, we're going to build that outdoor kitchen out here. I forgot, so that everybody, we can not have to cook in their cabins. That makes sense. We're going to all work on the outdoor kitchen together, right? So, barbecues every other night, every third night, every fifth night. You know what I'm saying? Hanging around, churching with people, covering the word of God. I never asked for any money from anybody, guys. I didn't want anything from anybody. I just needed, people who were serious and self-sufficient more than anything, so people who didn't need to be babysat or told what to do. So just speaking freely, that's where I told you, nothing in my life is like I want it to be. I wanted my son to come out here and build a house with me and his wife. He finally was going to do it after all these years. Now I can't even talk to him. He can't talk to his wife. I can't talk. Everything is the opposite of what I want right now. It is. I'm not lying. I'm not kidding. Everything is the complete opposite of what I would choose. I have things in my life I enjoy, but this isn't the life I would choose for me. It's not what I've tried. If you look at the effort that I put in the last 2-3 years, all I've tried to do is, for 5, 6, 7 years, was to build an off-grid community. I got a pretty neat place out here. I mean, it's just junk, brush, but it's kind of like a little Western town, and it's unique. It's not new. It's all old, bunch of junk, but it doesn't look like that. Looks like an old movie set, something like that. Like you'd pull up and then be like, I have a lot more planned out here too to try to kind of give it the appeal. So I'm not in this age. I don't like this age that we live in. Too techie, too new, too everything. All my stuff is like I'm old. I've had people come in here when all my food, I got food coming out of my ears. It's ridiculous how much food is in this cabin, but too much food. And this is just overflow. All my food is in the shelter, but this is just food I haven't put in the shelter because I don't have any more 5-gallon buckets. I ran out. I've got hundreds of them filled with food. So I don't have any more buckets to fill them. So look at me, guys. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't look like I come from this age either. I mean, I know I get the tattoos or whatever, but I'm not from this age, guys. You know what I'm saying? Well, have you looked at my maps there, JW47, and seen the maps? There's not too many places in the U.S. that you're going to be able to be that are not going to go underwater. That has gone underwater. Not 6 years ago with the whole earth flood. Do you want to come see that? I'll show you. I can take you up to crack in the ground up here to show you exactly where the water spit out of the earth 6,000 years ago. I could literally show your eyes, take you to where that is out. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's going down in Oregon. This is going to be a continental tidal shift. There will be no continent that will be able to escape what is about to come. Nope, not one. Every single continent is affected. Here, I'll show you the maps. We'll go back into the maps. Show them the maps. What is this? Dora the Explorer? I'm the map, 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 I'm the map. Sorry about that. Oh, where did it go? Where's your screenshots? It's got to be in the screenshots. Uh-oh. We're just hanging out. I'm not overdoing it, guys. I ain't tripping. This is just oh, here we go. Okay. Is anybody out of the country? Is anybody out of the United States of America? Anybody out of the country? Anybody in a different country? I have all the countries here. Now, some of these maps, like I said, a lot of this stuff got taken from you guys, and I've had to reload up some stuff and retake pictures, and then, but I have what is called the mean map. Mean means the average. There's higher and lower numbers, higher and lower tide in this situation. This is the average. So anybody outside the U.S., all right, we're not moving forward in this conversation until you tell me where you're from, what state you're from. You don't have to give it up. You don't have to give up your location if you want. Some people want anonymity, so I don't want to force anybody to have to give up their location if they don't want. But is there anybody outside the U.S. right now in the chat room? South Carolina. No, that's North Carolina. South Carolina. Yeah, you're not in a good spot. Want to see South Carolina? Arizona. Hey. No, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Will Arizona be safe? Nope, Kentucky. Sorry, Kentucky's right there. There's Tennessee. There's Kentucky. Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee is not going to fend very well. My brother Jim's over there in Hendersonville. Yeah, you're done. Oh, we got to do that, guys. We'll do that. I'll do that in a little bit. I'm going to take a break here in a minute, and we'll go over your state. Okay, I said I would do that. I don't mind, whatever. I'm not working today. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm being lazy. You're being lazy, Tracy. I'm not lazy, guys. I'm just having a hard day, but I'll get through it. And thanks for sharing it with me. I have the overlay map, guys, or I have the strategic relocation book that I said I would go over with you guys. So if you want to see this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm doing. I don't sit here and talk about this stuff and just do nothing about it, guys. That took me 4 years to put this in place, guys. It would take you $250,000 to build what I've built. And I don't know how the hell I did it, but I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. It's not done. I'm still working on it. Thank you, Corey. I like your mind. I like your mind where you're going. That I like your mind. You're thinking ahead. It's just inquisitive. You know, that's how I figure out a lot of things. I ask, what if? You know, what if is not a bad thing, guys? You know, here's the entrance coming down the stairwell. There's a lot of digging there. Look at that. 28 feet down in the ground, guys. I'm from where I'm sitting right now. There's probably 30 feet because I'm up a little higher in the cabin. So this is the entrance into the shelter. I have a sun shelter, not a bunker. No, I don't. It's not a nuclear fallout shelter. I'm not trying to survive some kind of nuclear fallout. Look how cool this is, guys. Look at all this strata layer that I was talking to you about this. Look at this cataclysmic event that happened right there. So just like an ice cream sandwich, guys. Look at that. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to show you that I don't just say, hey, there's something coming, and then I don't have, you know, some kind of preparedness place in plan. Okay, so this is the entrance to the shelter. It took me 4 years to dig out the 50 feet by hand. I do it all with buckets. I don't have money, or I don't have a tractor or anything or backhoe to dig it, so I had to dig it by hand. Took me 4.5 years, a little over 4.5 years to dig. By hand, guys. By hand. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, that's 45. I can unplug that one for a minute. Let's see what we got on this one over here. Oh, this is good. Here we go. Here's a picture of that gas giant alignment again, guys. When he says he floods the earth, he means he's going to flood the whole earth. The whole earth was flooded. From every top of the mountain peaks, everywhere on this earth. That's 6,000. Yeah, don't say the word bunker, guys. Do not let that word come out of your mouth. Everybody has the ability to have a shelter away from the storm shelter or cellar. If you're trying to install one of these things and you're just trying to do this and get it done, don't go around telling anybody that you're trying to build a bunker. You're not going to get anywhere. That's fear porn, doom and gloom. Just don't say that word. That will put you on the list of the NSA. It will. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not dumb. I've studied this stuff, guys. So, shelter, cellar, a storm shelter. Everybody has a right, you know, it's not always 70 and sunny, right? So everybody should have the ability to build a place away from the storm. And then you'll get much better results. Actually, how I had mine, because once I got mine installed, I want to build an underground house as well, a 50-foot underground house. I have a 50-foot storm shelter, a 50-foot underground garden, and a 50-foot house so that I can live below the frost line. Not like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's not going to get above or below 60 degrees in there. It will hold core temperature. It will hold temperature. So if it's 30 below here on the surface, it's going to be 60 degrees down there. Doesn't matter how much snow is up there. I'm down 28 feet below. I'm down in the frost line, below the frost line. So I'm not anywhere near where the frost can get me. The earth has a core temperature between 55 to 65. We'll call it in given anywhere on the earth. Little variance there, but it's going to hold that temperature. Doesn't matter if it's 125 degrees on the surface. It's scorching hot. It's like a morgue down there, 60 degrees, 60, 62 degrees, guys. So that's why I wanted to build my underground house. So it took me over 4 years to dig the hole to put the storm shelter in. And when I actually was trying to have the second one done, I actually tried to have the first one done. Nobody would come do it for me. Nobody would do it for me. I couldn't pay enough money. I had money at the time. I worked hard to get money to do this. You know, and I got to dig, and it was years, and I Wonderwall. Yeah, no, this isn't that, guys. I mean, there will be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of surface left, guys. I mean, not a ton, but there will be plenty of surface area. So it's not going to be like the whole earth is going to get covered. That's 6,000 years ago, guys. The promise of the rainbow is that God will never flood this whole earth again. This is not a flood event. This is a tidal shift. There's a difference between flood. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and water came from above and below. That is not this event. Not at all. Not even freaking close. That is not this event. So don't sit there and think that this is some kind of God's promise of the rainbow is that if you don't stop sticking your thing in his, keep your thing to yourself. I've seen enough of this hokey pokey. Turn yourself around. I'm bringing the fire. That is the promise of the rainbow. That he would never flood this whole earth again. This is not a flood. This is a continental tidal shift. Know the difference of what I'm talking about, and it'll make a lot more sense. Floods came, it was raining. This isn't a raining event. I said I can take you, and in 20 minutes, I can show you where this earth was pissing out. Probably tens of thousands of millions of gallons a minute. While it was volcanic at the same time, ripping the earth open and spraying water out of the same thing that there was lava coming out of. I can show you that. This will be a continental. Every continent will have a shifting of the tides. Brothers and sisters, I'm pretty certain that this is going to happen. There's just too much evidence to support it, brothers and sisters. I don't want it to happen at all. I want just some weather to displace a few of you, and we move through this celestial geometry, and we move on, and we all, most of us, make it through it. I don't think that's even plausible at this point, brothers. I really don't think that's even plausible with the evidence, and David added that 2030s evidence should show you that this has happened before. It has happened before. There are literally buildings sitting off our coastlines right now that you could take. You could take scuba diving. It's 400 feet. You have to be a certified scuba diver, covered in water right now. In the last cycle, the water came up. Okay? I have the videos out, Corey. It's on my channel. I have all the videos. It's already on my channel. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I have the one that's 1 minute and 1 second to show you the event that will cause the shifting of the tides, continental, the magnetic pinch between the 4 large gas giants. It's already out there. Look at the video. It's on my channel. It's called Videos. Click on my channel. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed already, go to the videos, not live streams. People come for the live streams, guys. No matter what, I didn't want this. I was a content creator. I never wanted to do a live stream one, okay? But once I went live, that's what people wanted. I don't get hits on my channel. I do. I get a lot of hits on the channel, but I get a crap load of hits on my lives. Even if I do a live, brothers and sisters, and I get off here, watch, go look at the content, and then look at how many people watch it afterwards. And then look how many people are unsubscribed to my channel after my live. As a matter of fact, I should have just shut up about the live, because look at the channel now. It's under 3,666. It's going backwards now. And I'm okay with that, guys. Hang out with me. just make sure you hit the subscribe button, so you can stay subscribed to the channel. I don't want that's up to you. You don't want to stay here, you don't like the content, there's plenty of other content creators, but there's only one other content creator on the internet that is talking about this outer looping magnetic field, the 4 gas giants squaring themselves off, forming that square like it did at the time of Christ. David Devine isn't talking about it the way that I do. He has not presented the federal maps, the water overlay maps. He has not presented any of these things. His evidence is standalone, brothers and sisters. His evidence covers going to Croatia. He has a lot of the same imagery that I have because he uses the same programs, okay, as Solarium, some of these programs to show you the images of this geocentric. No, you're used to the heliocentric model where the sun is the center of the universe. Moving on, the models that you can see with your eyes, visually see what's about to happen. So I didn't ask for people to come to my lives. That just happened that way. And I'm 100% certain now that people come for the live. Not that they don't like my content. I do, but I don't. The hits on the channel for the word, for me, for what I'm here to do, is make sure the word gets out. Whoa, if you don't, right? I find that my time was more valuable on the live stream. So I quit producing as much content because I can make a video, guys, and I'll get 1,000 hits on it. Or I'd come on here live stream for an hour. I might get 10,000 people over, or 2, 3, 4,000 people. I'll get way more hits on the live. So I do notice that people, you guys are coming back and watching the live. It's awesome that, and I don't care because it's not, I don't, like I said, I have demonetized the channel for quite some time. So I don't do it for money. And I'm starting to monetize some of the videos again. But once again, people don't come to this channel for the content. Not as a whole, brothers and sisters, they don't. Maybe 3 to 5% of the people watch my content, my videos. 95% of you come here to see this ugly face and the words that come out of my, hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with the visual. Hopefully it's the words, it's the evidence that I'm conveying to you that speaks volumes. You don't get distracted by the hat or whatever. It's just a hat, guys. It's just, but the evidence I want to speak for itself. If you go look at David's evidence, it's super standalone. I wish I could have done what David done. Oh my God, that'd have been so awesome to leave the country for, gosh, he was gone, guys, for, I don't know where, he has a wife. He's got a farm. I got no life. He does. He has a pretty, he's pretty well set. Him, Ransom Godwin, Mountain High Television, partly cloudy. Well, they got it going on. You know what I'm saying? He's awesome. I've watched David since his channel was created, from the very first channel too. I had a channel when David had a channel. My channel was Truth Viral Television. So, I think my channel was out before David even produced his channel. I'm not sure if his channel was before mine or after, but we came out back about the same time. Ben, BP, all these people, a lot of these original bloggers on the internet. I started with a lot of these guys in the beginning. I used to go on Casey, Enter the Stars shows. I've been on the Alex Jones show. Okay, guys, multiple times. I've done this for a while, guys. Either way, but nobody else by itself, and David is putting out this content right now. There isn't. And so let's look at nobody's outside the country. Yeah, that's an old channel. Here's the United States map, guys. Okay. So I don't know where you're at in the U.S. I'm not going to invite you to come out to my property unless you're really serious about it. And I mean, you're going to have to be serious. You have to make it. You're going to have to make it happen. Seriously, you're going to have to make it happen. I have property. I have the ability, but it's not up to me. You're going to have to. Seriously, I'm not doing this anymore. I done tried for too many years and had my freaking heart broken, ripped out of my chest. I'm not doing that. But if you want to come out here to this area, and you don't have to stay on my property. I'll get you access to other properties out here too. If you don't want to come stay with this crazy old man or something on one of my properties. And I have other properties. You don't have to stay on this property. I'll sign some, guys. If you're that serious, I really will do this right now. I mean, I don't want to, but I will, because I don't want to do this to myself again. I don't want to get myself to a position where I think something's going to happen and then I just get rug pulled and the rug pull gets pulled out from underneath me. But if you are serious, I'm more than willing to give you all the information, to talk to you about Lapine, Bend, Redmond, Madras, Christmas Valley, Silver Lake, the whole area. I'll give you the whole skinny on everything that's going on out here, as far as I think the things that will be necessary for you to be able to survive and thrive out here. Not just survive, but thrive. You know, a lot of people do really well out here, guys. A lot of people move from a big city or bigger cities, you know, and for $100,000, you could build a nice little cabin, have 20 acres of land out here, own the driveway, own the gravel, own, you know, it's ridiculous. No, I know that's what, not at a loss. That's true though. And it's not so like I'm disappointed. It just didn't work out. You know, there's no disappointment. I'm not disappointed in anybody like that, but I hear it. It can be disappointing, but I'm not disappointed at them per se. You know what I'm saying? It's God's will. But guys, again, you know, I don't see how any of you could hear this evidence and then me show you this map and then you guys just sit there and go along your business. That's what bothers me sometimes. I'm like, how can I keep showing all this information? David Devine puts out this information about Decami and all these images of thousands of years ago, these people painting these 4 large gas giants lined up as a square in our outer solar system. So this has apparently happened time immemorial. It's not something that just happens randomly. It happens on a cycle. And that when the cycle happens, it affects the tides, right? You know, that's what I was saying. David wasn't talking exactly about that. He was talking about the magnetic pinch. I kind of the one that started bringing up this whole tidal shift. David doesn't have these maps. David doesn't have any maps of the United States. David once hasn't talked about the strata layer and the paleoclimatology records of the specific gravity of the, you know, all the way up to he hasn't had any of this evidence. He's not put out any of it. He's just talked about the gas giant pinch and how it's going to cause weather. But I know he's talked briefly about it, but if you go back and you look at my videos, I'm the one who's showing you supporting toroidal fields, magnetism, you know, gravity, if you will, electricity, magnetism, the block domain wall. He's not once put up any image of the block domain wall, has he? No, he's not put up any. Has you seen any images on his channel with the overlay map of the United States, England, Russia, China, South America, New Zealand, Australia? I've got all the maps showing you where, you guys, what really got my channel hammered, and I had to stop it. I'm not going to do it anymore because I figured out that's what screwed me last time. Hey, sometimes I can push as hard as I can, but if I know it's going to cause me problems, guys, there's some things I just can't do. What caused my channel to completely be fried here and stop? If you go back and look and study and go back and look at the blogs, look at the lives, okay? It wasn't until I asked people to start telling me in their other countries if they're doing the same thing that they're doing here in the US. Send me a picture of a map in your country. Send me the information. Are they taking over this area like Australia? Let me show you a picture of Australia. This is, like I said, this is what got the channel. And I should have known. And when I was doing this, I'm like, whatever it is, what it is, I'm not going to stop doing it. I want to know. I know this is happening in other countries, so I want to know if, you know, this is something that is not just happening here in America. And I have more followers outside of the United States of America than I do, you know, from Australia than any other country. I don't know what, if it's the algorithm or like when I was on TikTok, I had like lots of people wanted me to go over to Australia and go over there. And I've had people try to get me to go over there and invite me to their homes and wanted me to come over there. And, oh, you're from TikTok, you're a sensation here in Australia. I shut my channel down after that. I literally had to call my son and like, son, I didn't take it off the internet. I'm like, dude, I just defeated the purpose. He's like, what do you mean talking about, Dad? And he's like, these people from Australia, remember how you told me if I'll blog later in the evening, I pick up these people? Well, now they want me to come over there and they're saying I'm some kind of thing. I'm like, Elijah, that's not what I wanted to happen. That's crazy. I hate this. He's like, Dad, your channel has been growing. You're one of the largest growing channels on TikTok right now. If you look at your numbers, it's quite alarming how many people you're picking up on your live streams. You're 100, 200, 300, sometimes 500 in a stream. You know, Dad, you can't have a following of 20 plus thousand followers and not be a thing. I said, but son, the channel isn't about me. It's about the word. He said, yeah, but Dad, you know, you are on there. You're kind of animated, you know, and so people come not to, yeah, they see your channel content, but they're coming to listen to what's coming out of your mouth. It's you. And so you can't sit there. Dad, are you serious? You're telling me you have a channel of 20 plus thousand followers and you don't think that people aren't going to recognize who you are? Dad, you don't have a 300 channel anymore. This, you know, it's growing, you know, so that's crazy. Open your channel back up. Dad, that's part of the territory. You have a bigger channel, people are going to come and they're going to, and I said, well, I'm telling you what, this defeats the purpose. I don't want this channel to be about me. Never was. So, and I do make it about me sometimes, guys, so I apologize, but I try to overwhelm my crap with the word and other things. So, but I have a massive following in Australia, okay, through my TikTok platform. I have some over here and some have followed mental health recovery. Some of them come over here, okay, guys, but most of them stayed over to that platform. But I could get better information from the Aussies than I could. Maybe it's because I live in the outback. I live in the Oregon outback. There's the Australian outback. I don't know what it is that the Aussies seem to, maybe it's the hat. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. My point that I'm making is that I was trying to get information from the people that I knew I had the best relationship with. They even invited me to go over there. If you please come to Australia first, because I was talking about going and taking vacation and leaving out of the country for a little bit. And I said, Mexico first, and then Isaac, look, I hadn't heard from Isaac. I wonder what happened to Isaac, brother Isaac. He's a good guy. But what I did find out, guys, is that in Australia, I don't know if you have any Aussies. If you have any people who live in Australia, you might want to take a note of this. Australia doesn't fend very well. Obviously, Australia doesn't fend as well as the United States of America. What the heck's going on here? Okay, there we go. My bad. Trying to get New Zealand in the picture there. New Zealand does better than Australia if you look. So, but what I had found from my Aussies, guys, is I was confirming that all this area over here in Australia is owned by what they would have their federal government as well. So the same thing is happening in Australia. And that's when I started asking all these people from other countries to start sending me what is going on in their countries. And that's what got the channel demonetized over there. They took my live stream down. Over here, I struggled. And then I've just let it go since then. I haven't talked about this. I have not asked one person to send me other information. Actually, that's what got all that information taken out of my phone. Somebody sent me the information from over there. That's when I lost all my information on my phone, both my SD card and every image on my phone. Thousands of images I had stored in my phone and on my SD card, gone. Like that. Oh, how did it happen? And my SD card? How the hell did they get in your SD? That's supposed to be a separate thing from your phone, right? Erase that one, goner too, whatever. So that's Australia. That's how much of Australia is going to go underwater. So they don't do fend very well. Nobody said they were from outside the U.S. Here's another shot of the U.S. I'm going to take a break and I'll come back. We'll go over the strategic relocation book or something like that. So there you go. Are you somewhere in that white area? I hope you are. I hope you're not over here. Come over here if you want to. I'll give you the information on whatever. This is a very reasonable place. I have a 20-acre parcel that I pay just a little over $100 a month or a year on taxes. That's not too bad for taxes for 20 acres. So I've got a 20-acre parcel for sale for under $1,000 an acre if you're interested. Or $10,000, under $2,000 an acre. What is $1,000? Under $2,000 an acre. 1,000. Whoa, those are some freaking prices like going 20 years ago. Okay. Here's South America, Africa over there. Looks like over there towards Chile and all that, you know, over towards the, that's the western side of South America. Does better, obviously. Here's all your European nations. All the European nations. France and, come on, zoom in there. They pretty much go underwater. A lot of that area is underwater. Most of it goes under the water and has in the past. Here's all the China and the Asias, and there's Africa over there too. Oh, that's not in that picture. So obviously the Chinese fend pretty well. I think Russia does pretty well, doesn't it? Not so much. It's like China does a lot better, doesn't it? So if you want to see these images, these are on the 3-minute and 33-second channel video. And you can pause it and screen capture it, and you can use any content off any of my videos. I don't care if anybody uses my content. I'm not concerned about people biting my content. Do it, use it, get it. Be like Alpha Beta and tell a friend. Oh, none of you guys are old enough to remember that. God, I miss that truck. This is the truck that I never should have sold, guys. That's the truck I sold, and the money got stolen. I should have kept that truck. I didn't have a choice, guys. I wanted to get out of here and take a vacation. So life ain't Burger King, but that was my old brig there. Anyways, let's take a 10-minute break here, guys. I'm going to go get some fresh air. Go outside for a minute, take a breather. You guys want to, let's shut this down, and I'll come back up, and we'll play some music on the next live stream or something in the background or something, just to have some drowned out my ugly face, and we'll just have some background music. So I'm going to shut this one down. Been up here for another almost 4 hours. Almost put a whole day's work in already. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me, man. I don't want to be right about this. What if I'm right? Do something about it. If you can, like I said, get a hold of me and come over here to the West Coast. It's not a permanent thing. It's not a permanent thing, guys. It's not a permanent thing. It's not permanent. We will come out of this alignment just like, we came into the COVID, and some people thought the COVID was never going to go away. But it did eventually. Wars and rumors of wars took care of that, huh? Ukraine took care of that. Yeah. I need to get up, like I said, get a little rest here, get up. I'll be back though in, less than an hour. I'll probably come right back on, not too long. I'm not working today, guys. I'm just not doing physical labor today. I'm doing my work in here. So I'll come back and, go check this. Give you a chance to check out go check out Dave. Look, if you can watch one video, okay, one video, don't watch mine. You can watch mine, but do me a favor. I'm sure Lady in Red's going to drop the link one more time for you, not to the exact video, but to the channel of Adapt 2030. To Adapt 2030, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, King. I do. I mean, I'm just trying to do God's work, man. I mean, I don't want to be right. Look at the evidence. This guy's a crackpot, man. Look at this thing. Let's take it with a grain of salt. He says, believe no man, discern all things, brothers and sisters. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. I told everybody. Remember with somebody, I forget who it was earlier. I said, trust your gut. Go into dark secrets, place in secret, and, let God talk to you. He'll tell you what you need to do. Thank you, Lady in Red. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Donald. Appreciate your continued support of the channel. Get a hold of me. If you're that stinking serious, don't get a hold of me. I'm hard to get a hold of. I know. You got to shake me. You got to really get my attention if you want to be. Guys, the reason probably why I'm single and don't have a single friend is you have to be there with me. You know what I'm saying? You got to be there with me to be in my life. I'm serious. I'm like one of those kind of people, man. I mean, it's not like I don't blow people off. I try to respond when I'm doing sales and stuff, but I'm a hard dude to get a hold of. I'm super busy. I blog a lot. I research. I'm always stuck. My nose is always in the book. You know, if I'm not here, I'm studying. I'm in something. I'm on a blog. I'm reading the word. I'm in my lexicon. I'm reading my concordance, going back, trying to figure out, you know, I'm using my cheat codes, you know what I'm saying? But I know I'm hard to get a hold of, but, you know, if somebody could get in and shake me, you'll probably get my attention. I'll, you know, it's possible, you know, I mean, I have invited people to come out here before, maybe to pay. Mods win it. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? If the mods got a kickback check. I think they should, man. I think the mods should get a kickback check. I agree, lady in red. Our mods should be able to have some kind of irons in the fire, something in the pool, the pot here, right? So, okay, guys, go watch Adapt 2030, and please, this video has captivated me, okay, to the point where I know that this event that I'm talking about is more plausible at this point than it is not. That's going to be Adapt 2030, and go watch his video where he talks about when he went to 5 different countries, starting in Croatia, and he went all to the war museums, to the all the old churches, all the old military bases, all the old history, you know, all the museums, and he looked for this same celestial alignment to see if he could find it. Other than the images we're showing you, what I show, he was seeing if he could find it back in history. If this is a cycle, then it's had to been, the image of it's had to been taken and put down before. And I'm telling you, man, boom, home run. He knocked it out of the park, guys. He found so much imagery of these 4 large gas giants lining off, squaring, and forming that square. Thousands of years ago, this image was painted. And it showed this tidal shift that I'm talking about. Okay? I know he's covering the gas giant alignment, the pinching, the magnetism, but he's just not covering. And I don't want to say that he's not doing his job. If he didn't have that, I would never felt so edified. But I do want you to take a mention. Look at me right now, please. In those paintings, you'll see that the waves tend to get larger and larger and larger. Like I told you, sorrows. In those waves, you see the 4 large gas giants painted. Sometimes they'll paint them as men. They thought they were gods up there, brothers and sisters. They thought Jupiter was a god. So not every image you're going to see is going to be of a ball. See, this was painted in multiple ways in history. And so he has that on his channel, and it is so edifying. To me, it set my heart at ease. I mean, it's like, okay, Tracy, you're good. It's okay. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it happens, Tracy. You sounded the alarm. You blew the horn. You said it. You did it. You're done. You don't have to say it ever again. You did your work. It's out. You put it out. Let it rest. He said, I will come like a thief in the night, Tracy. I actually want most people to be taken like a thief. I don't want most people to know about this. I was like, oh, okay, Father, I got it. Don't stop trying so hard. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Because I really want people to know about this so bad, guys. I don't want anyone to perish in this. I don't. But that's not for me to decide. Okay? But if you'll see David's video, it's so edifying for somebody like me who's done the other end, the second witness on this research. You know what I'm saying? It is just super edifying to see thousands of years ago. What I want you to look in this picture, though, is in these images of the waves, you'll notice that all these ships are broken. What are they showing about the broken ships? What does that mean? Broken ships in the water. I think it's telling you something, okay? And if you look at these 2 things, and I need to take my break. Thank you. Look at the images of the people that are standing in the boats, because there's people in the boats. In the image, they're out in the sea. The ships are breaking. Look at the image of the people. Some of them are standing there like this, but some of them are going like this. That is decami. Decami. Decagon, decimal, dec, 10, giving their allegiance to that sign. That's what decami means. 10 hands. It's what you give your authority to. Not only your right hand and your head, but decami, decimal 10, 10 hands, 10 fingers, 2 hands, 10. I didn't know what that meant until actually I was watching my brother Jim Brown and my teacher, my pastor, and he was teaching a lesson about decami and the hands of not just one, but 2 hands. It's what you put your hands in, you know. You're giving all your authority, all 10 hands, all 10 fingers, all your decami. So that's when I knew, holy crap, this is bigger than what I thought it was. Some of the people are doing it on the boat. Some are just standing there, and then some of them are like this. And I didn't know what that meant, and David has never covered that. So go check that out and come back and report back to me and tell me what you think about that video. It's not a short video. I'm going to take at least a half an hour, guys, because it's about a 20-minute video. It's not just a little short like mine. It is worth your time, though. It really is. If it doesn't edify you between watching my 3-minute video, my 1-minute video, and 1 second, my other 1 video, and then his, and you think that, hey, this chance of this is happening is good, do something about it. Whatever you think that is, stay right where you're at. If you think that no weapon formed against me will prosper, okay? Do whatever your heart tells you. Do what your gut, your mind, and your soul, more than anything, you're eternal. Listen to the voice inside your head. Don't panic. Don't listen to this flesh, what the flesh wants to do. Don't listen to the flesh. Listen to that Holy Spirit that's inside your head, the Ruach HaKodesh, okay? That's what it is. He said, I am the Aletheia. That's the truth. That's the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the Holy Spirit. He cast out the unclean spirits, the unclean truths, brothers and sisters, out of the church. They wandered into the swine, low energy, and then they, cast them in, and they wandered off the cliff into their judgment, water judgments. Here we are again. Not completely, though. It's not a flood event. Remember, not a flood event. This is not a flood. This is a continental tidal shift. This is celestial geometry, brothers and sisters, not astrology, not prophecy. Nope, a cycle, okay? That's what I do. You know what I do. You know how it is when I do what I do, right? I'm bringing you the Aletheia, brothers and sisters. He said, I am the Aletheia. That's the truth. Uncover the lies. That's what the apocalypse means, to uncover the lies, to reveal that Aletheia, that truth that's been standing there all along. I am revelation. Whoa. Love you guys. Always agape.